Hey, welcome. This is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. I'm starting just a few minutes early. I saw everyone's already here and waiting, and I'm all ready. I had everything set up early ahead of time. So, actually, one thing I want to make sure I have set up ahead of time is the ability, if you leave a text-to-speech, if you donate on Streamlabs over $5, it'll read it out loud. I have to hit a certain thing after I launch, and I just remembered to do that. So actually, let me know how everything's looking and sounding. I made a few more tweaks to my camera settings, my color grading, and I'm pretty happy with the image I got this week. So let me know how it's looking there, and let me know if you think it looks the same as last week's and before, if it looks any better or worse. I'm just trying to get some feedback. I think I'm on to something here to make it look. I'm always tweaking stuff, trying to get just better sound and music, better image and video. So let me know how it looks. Looks and sounds great. Yeah. Can you anyone with some good photographic eyes can tell if this looks any better or worse or more real or funny than before? Let me know. I actually want to give a big shout out to not sponsor or anything, but Black Magic cameras. I have their Pocket Cinema 4K. They let me try it out like a year or so ago. I liked it so much I just ended up buying it after the trial. Love this camera, and it's totally transformed how I work on video. Again, not sponsored. I just want to give them a shout out for thanks for picking on me, this little channel here, this little vegan channel, to try out your cool products. And yeah, I'm stoked. I know their stuff's more geared typically towards filmmakers, like lower budget filmmakers, or even higher budget ones for that matter, but it works surprisingly well for just what I do here as a YouTube content creator. So let's see what you guys say. Looks okay, Brandon, you can tell. Looks better. The lighting looks great. Cool. Thank you. It's like a tree. Awesome. So I'm glad no one thinks it looks any worse. I'm just, like I said, just trying to tweak different things out and just trying to just get the best image I can with the gear that I have here already. Let's see. So yeah, it looks like a lot of our regulars are here already. Hey, Wujita and Tracy, we've got 2 mods on, so we should be pretty safe tonight as far as, as long as you guys are here. Probably Race will show up in a little bit, I imagine. This is going to be an interesting week here, as the title is entitled here. His title is entitled, Waiting for a Valid Argument Against Veganism. So I'm going to kind of focus on these. I was trying to think of a good word to describe these people that think that they're so smart and have these just amazingly awesome arguments debunking veganism, and their arguments are just plain ridiculous. Angie and I have been talking about this. I'm going to give a shout out though to our regular viewer. I don't think she's here right now, but Graven Babies, if she comes on, let me know later. She came up with the word. She's replying to that guy I responded to that thought he exposed me as a fraud. She said, "What a knucklehead." I go, "That's just a perfect word, knucklehead. It's not really mean, but it has a lot of expressive content. So from this day forward, you're going to hear me use the word knuckleheads quite a lot to describe these knuckleheads that just think they're so clever, so intelligent, and they think they have these great arguments against veganism, and they don't." And oh, that guy banned you, Taylor? Oh no. Speaking of that guy, I don't remember his name, but that guy with that New York baseball cap thing. Anyway, he made just like that. I think I made his day. I'll show you. He made a follow-up video responding to my response. He looked so happy. I've never seen a human being express so much joy. I think I made his year by responding to him. So anyway, one thing we'll do tonight, besides answer questions like we normally do, is instead of making another video responding to him, response to his response, it gets ad infinitum, a response to the response to the response. We're just going to go through it here together. We'll just watch it, pause it, discuss, and we'll just go through his video. I don't know if we'll go through the whole thing, but we'll just start it and see what he said, because it's equally as ridiculously silly as it was before. It's just, it's nuts. But anyway, I'll show you this Knucklehead's video. And if Mr. Knucklehead is here, I think he likes to watch the live streams because he thinks he has these great arguments debunking veganism. So if you're here, Mr. Knucklehead, wave and let us know that you're here. He always accuses me of, he's still in the second video, accuses me of ignoring him intentionally. And you guys know I don't always answer your questions right away. Right now we're just getting started. We have 40 viewers, and usually it'll get up to like 90, 100, later on. And it's tough to answer everyone's questions, even when there's just 40 people on, let alone 100-ish people. So, guys, so entitled, so conceited. He thinks that he has like the right, for me to, just entitled for me to answer his question. He raises his hand. He needs me to answer it right away. So self-centered. But anyway, let's see what you guys are asking before we get on to some of these knuckleheads. At least this one knuckleheads video, but I'm sure some knuckleheads will show up in the chat later on too. So, yeah, Trace, you've never eaten rhubarb? I know you saw the knucklehead claiming these vegan staples like rhubarb and kale. And no, he didn't say kale. Spinach and poke and purslane. Like except for spinach, which I don't eat every day or anything like that. I pretty much never eat those other things. We grow in some Swiss chard out in the front yard, but we rarely eat that. I just don't like it that much. Neither does Angie. So his idea of vegan staples is pretty nuts. But what do you expect from a knucklehead though, huh? Yeah, I'm with you, JL. The only one I really eat on a regular basis would be spinach. I probably have it like, maybe, it depends on the week, but 2 to 4 times a week and in reasonable quantities. I don't construct my whole meal to get 2,000 calories from spinach like he's proposing or something like that. Does that knucklehead think the world is flat too? Are you serious, or are you just like speculating? Or do you know for a fact that's one of his things? He thinks veganism is null and void because of oxalates and purslane. And does he also think that the world is flat too? Okay, but we'll answer a few questions before we get to that Knuckleheads video. Wait a second for everyone to get on. Let's see. Shahon Lulu, in my opinion, what percentage of a vegan diet should be raw? As much or as little as you want. I mean, I would say, in my personal experience, don't try to be like fully raw or high raw. Over I'm just pulling a ballpark here, like 75% of your calories from raw. Just eat what you want as a vegan. I mean, if you want to eat some fruit like I do in the morning, all raw, awesome. Totally, that's how I roll, Then after that, eat as I please. But I think you should eat some uncooked, foods like, fruits, things like that are not normally cooked anyway. Eat your fruits, but don't think of it as raw. Just think, yeah, I'm eating my lettuce, my fruits, stuff like that. I see absolutely zero advantage. I personally experienced zero advantages eating like this fully raw or nearly this high raw kind of diet. It's a lot of work, a lot of money, and okay, that's the pluses. But what are the other pluses? Nothing happened. Like there wasn't all these benefits, or I guess those are the negatives actually. And the positives are like, right? This is like the same as eating a healthy whole food vegan diet. So that's my whole 2 cents on that. Let's see. Brenda, which vax is from fetal cells? Please share with me, because last time I checked, messenger RNA has nothing to do with any human or animal biological part. I think you might be talking about the J&J vax, which I think might have something to do with that, but mine, nothing like that. Let's see. Favorite vegan ice cream? I had some Kato the other day. We made we might make some kind of sundae kind of situation. We got Kato. I like Kato because it has really low saturated fat content. It's one of the lowest ones because it's made with avocado rather than coconut oil. What's that, Brandon? Honestly, the only argument a non-vegan can give that vegans can't argue against is when they say, I don't care. You're absolutely right, Brandon. I agree 100%. Yeah, if someone doesn't give a crap about, harming animals needlessly for their taste buds, then what can you say? It's like someone that says, yeah, I like to rape and murder people. What can you say? If someone is that, just what's the word I'm looking for? Just doesn't care, I guess that's what I'm looking for. If they just don't care, what can you do? Yeah, I heard about that, JL. It was like, yeah, some contamination in the process and the production process for just Pfizer, not Moderna, which I had, and I think it was overseas. I don't know if that happened here in United States production, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. Hey, Graven Babies, I just gave you a shout out for giving me the term knucklehead, the perfect term that I will use from this day forward to refer to these people, these fine people who think they have these awesome, airtight, logically valid arguments debunking veganism. I mean, I was trying to find a good word that described them that wasn't too mean yet captured the point of them being just completely ridiculous without using any ableist terms like nuts or anything like that. So anyway, knucklehead, I think is the perfect word. I think it's pretty non-triggering or anything like that. So I'm gonna go with knuckleheads from this day forward. So yeah, like I said, you're probably gonna hear me say the word knucklehead quite a lot from now on. Hey, Johnny Bravo, what's up? That's a great philosophy. Can't stop lying. It never hurts to let someone know that you love them. But how's Kira? I saw you. Good to see you. I saw you make that comment before we got started. That high carb Hannah has a new kitchery recipe, and it looks pretty familiar. That's the implication. Being it looks like a lot like Angie's recipe from Keep It Carb Baby. Huh? Interesting. I'll check it out because I know that recipe like the back of my hand because I make it so often. I'm the kitchery maker in this house. I mean, Angie will make it sometimes, but it's such an easy dish, a staple of our diet. You know, I make it all the time. So I'll check out a recipe and I'll see if it looks pretty familiar because our recipe is extremely familiar. I make it pretty much once a week. Yeah, Christians, yeah, for rapper Waka Flocka, yeah, vegans were rude to me on the internet, so therefore he's not vegan, yeah. Knuckle dragger, yeah, I like knucklehead, but yeah, if you want to use knuckle dragger, that's it. So anyway, let's get started. Let's take a look at this knucklehead's response video to me, and we'll pause it, we'll talk about it. I haven't done this yet before, so this should be fun. So let's get right to it. I need to get his video, and here we go. And here's how he begins his video. It starts with a screenshot of what looks like Windows 10 or something like that. You can look at his desktop and see all the files he has on his desktop. I mean, let's see if there's anything. Let me get a higher resolution. Maybe if I go to 1080p, we can make out some of the detail of what's on his desktop. All right, so.
Good evening, people.
All right, there he is. Let me know if you could hear his audio and was his volume, his voice, is it too loud compared to me or too soft or just right? Let me know and I'll adjust the volume on YouTube. But anyway, yeah, he did a response to my video here, and let's see. And I'll look at your comments and let me know if you think he sounded like, you know, on par with my voice here.
As you could see, SR went in and said to debate me on stuff because for some reason Ryan thinks that's the only study that's out there. I just gave him the oldest one.
All right, so he's talking about that 1939 study, and you'll see. I watched some of it before I put it on to see if it'd be worth talking about. So anyway, he's upset that I thought that was the only study in the world that supported his point. Let's watch him.
Because you see, back in the medical community, back in the 1800s.
Oh, here we go. 1939 isn't old enough. He wants to go back to the 1800s now. So let's continue on. Like nutrition science hasn't advanced since the 1800s and 1939. But let's continue on.
They knew about eating too much produce caused bacillic acid diathesis. It's from about 1876, and it was a common illness that people would get from overindulging in produce.
No, so already he has this bias against people overindulging in produce. Like, so is this not a vegan thing? Just people that eat too many plants, that's bad. But anyway, let's continue on.
So it led up to this study, but the 1939 study isn't the only study, Ryan. You see, that's a misconception that if you would have looked in a little deeper, then...
Well, the reason why I didn't look at any other studies is because this is the only one he offered. Here's the thing. I've made it patently clear. I'm not like a medical doctor or researcher or an expert or anything like that. So whatever study you put out there, I'll have a look at it. I can't like psychically intuit into his mind from across the West Coast of Boston or Jersey or wherever he's at and know what other studies he has in mind. He said, I'm saying he's criticizing me for not already knowing the other studies that he didn't mention at all in any way, shape, or form. He's upset that I didn't refer to those studies or debunk those studies. Again, if you want someone to respond to your point, you put your point out there. You don't leave information off. I only can respond to with the content he put in this video. So please don't like criticize me for not responding to studies that did not appear in his video. And also, let's look at his title here for a second. Ryan admits he has no credentials. No, I mean, I say this all the time. I tell you guys all the time, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a health expert. I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that. So how can he said, I admit something that I freely share transparently with people all the time. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, let's continue on here.
What was in front of your face, you would know this. So saying that I don't know any...
No, I wouldn't know this because, again, I'm not a researcher. I'm not a nutritionist. It's your job. I guess he's saying he's the health expert. This guy with no credentials is the health experts because he knows all these studies, apparently. And I should be familiar with them, too, as a musician.
You should at least know. Here's the list from St. Joseph's, oxalate in food.
Okay, so here I saw him show this list here of oxalate in food. He thinks this is like some kind of smoking gun here that's going to debunk veganism. And let's just check it out, though. Yep, I'm not a mind reader.
One of your people asked if you cook spinach, does it remove the oxalates? No, don't cook it because it actually doubles up the oxalates, Ryan. But you couldn't tell her that, could you, Ryan? What?
Well, first of all, you could maybe show a reference for that. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Why should we believe this guy? He might be right. He might not. We don't know. He's not a health expert. He's not a nutritionist. So again, that's what I do. If I make a claim like that, like cooking something doubles something, I'll show you the study that says that. But here, we just have to trust this knucklehead who might be right, he might be wrong. We don't know. Why should you trust him? Show us the information that supports what you're saying. That's what I say. When I put out information like that is based in evidence, I show you the evidence. I just don't say, hey, just trust me because I'm an expert, like this guy who is not an expert. Ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect? This guy is a classic example. People who have little to no knowledge in a subject more than often grossly overestimate their knowledge and expertise in a field, and correspondingly they're less likely to understand or know when they're wrong or when they're treading in like debatable territory. But anyway, let's continue on with this list here that debunks veganism.
Because you don't have no credentials and you don't know anything.
I don't have any credentials. Again, you're not saying anything new. And you know what? This knucklehead doesn't have any either. So what's the point?
At least I was offered tenure in St. John's University twice, Brian, twice.
What did he say there? He was what at St. John's University? Let's rewind. I didn't hear what he said there. Did anyone catch what he said? His accent is so thick.
At least I was offered tenure in St. John's University.
He was offered tenure in St. John's University? Like, did you hear what he said there? Tenure? He was offered tenure, maybe? Tenure? So this guy's a medical doctor or a professor? He's offered tenure? Let's hear it one more time.
Twice, bro.
He's offered tenure twice?
But you couldn't tell her that, could you, Ryan? Why? Because you don't have no credentials and you don't know anything. At least I was offered tenure in St. John's University twice, bro.
He was on the St. John's Orchestra as a tenor. He was offered a tenor, like a $10 bill, a 10 spot, a tenor. I'm not making fun of him. I actually don't understand what he said there. He's offered tenor twice, like tenor. I don't think it could be tenure, because tenure is something that professors get at university. This guy's a university professor. I mean, you think if he were like a PhD or a medical doctor, you would think he would share that fact. Possibly, it's kind of important. But anyway, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, this is hurting everyone's brain, but let's just see what he's saying here, because he thinks he has me here.
Brian, twice. I own my own company, Brian. I'm on Wall Street. I'm called the witch.
Oh, okay. So we should believe what this is like an appeal to authority, but he's not an authority. He says he's a Wall Street person, a big Wall Street guy known as the witch. So what does that mean about having expert knowledge in nutrition and oxalates and stuff like that? I mean, if people wanted stock advice, maybe he's perfectly great. Maybe he's totally awesome. But when it comes to debunking veganism, he's a knucklehead. But anyway, let's hear him spout his completely just non-relevant credentials here.
When people would have put hundreds of millions of dollars into a company, they call me, and what I do is I investigate them, the fund they want to invest in.
Okay, so hear that. So if you have $100 million and you want to invest it in a company, you call him and he invests the fund. Which is it? Are you going to invest in a company or a fund? Those are two different things, Mr. Witch of Wall Street. Do you understand the distinction between investing in a company and investing in a fund, which is investing in a collection of equities? But anyway, let's continue on, Mr. Witch of Wall Street.
I'm well trusted. My company's on Dun & Bradstreet for the past 20 years.
All right, he's well trusted. His company's on a certain street. He's well trusted. So if he's well trusted on Wall Street, anything he says about nutrition should have equal trust behind it, right? Is that the point? How does being the Witch of Wall Street on a certain, I guess, prestigious area, block, whatever, how does that make what you say about nutrition more or less true? It's completely unrelated.
Any information that I got or give out or paid to give is proven to be 100% reliable.
No, you hear that. So he's saying when he researches his funds or his companies, I'm not sure which, it's 100% reliable. That sounds pretty extreme. It sounds like any expert would know that anything that they're saying is not always 100% reliable. There's always going to be some dispute. There's always going to be some unknowables, variables that you can't control. Economic downturns that can't be forecast, like when there's say a pandemic and everything shuts down. So you can't say you have 100% reliability behind your predictions in the stock market, and let alone nutrition. You're way off, as we'll see here. 100% reliable. Really, you can forecast anything, any change, any unforeseen thing. Complete nonsense. So again, it's just he's trying to build up his credibility here, and he's just knocking it down by saying he's 100% reliable. No one is. If you were, you'd be the richest guy on Wall Street. You'd be living on David Geffen's mega yacht. I mean, you'd be a billionaire.
I'm not in the corner picking out some guitar and living in some kind of vegan fantasy.
Oh, okay. See, there he's attacking me. Picking on a guitar. So picking on a guitar is a bad thing. So it's a very lowly pursuit. People picking on guitars, like Eddie Van Halen. He's God rest his soul. I saw someone talk about Yngwie Malmsteen. We're all just doing horrible things here. Picking a guitar is horrible, and the only good pursuit is making anti-vegan videos and being 100% reliable on Wall Street. Those are the only I don't even know what his name is. Here, it's right down there.
The information you're giving out is not complete.
Which information? Again, if I refer to say vegan diets being healthy, I'm referring to a position paper of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, for instance. I don't really give information out that's controversial. I'm either giving information about myself. Yeah, I played basketball today. I'm working on this or that at the gym. That's not up to dispute. But if I give health advice, it's advice that's backed by science. So if I give information about morals and ethics, that's philosophy, and that's what I actually am trained in, bro. I got my first super chat tip of the night here. Let's see, Tanya. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Tanya. Not even a question there. Well, thanks so much, Tanya. Much appreciated. Thanks for using Streamlabs, where they don't take a cut from the donations, unlike YouTube does. Thanks so much. Oh, Twaja, I mispronounced your name. But Uncle Walt, you got it. Ad hominem attack. You just did an ad hominem attack. Oh, I'm just not sitting there picking a guitar. Do I sound like him there? Does that sound pretty good? I'm just not sitting there picking a guitar, living some kind of vegan fantasy lifestyle. Anyway, I'm trying my best to imitate him there. I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm trying my best to develop that certain region of the East Coast accent. Yeah, hey, you're a drummer, so let's pick on you, Roots Like a Tree. I'm just not sitting there banging on a drumstick. Well, you don't bang on a drumstick, right? But anyway.
You had one of you guys come up to me and says he subsists on, I can't remember his name, he's so irrelevant, FartK.
Okay, so FartK, I think that's someone from our comments here. At first I thought he meant BartK, like that carnivore dude. Anyway, let's see what FartK said to him.
He's telling me he eats a bunch of kale a day, right? With a couple of cups of greens, and the amount of kale that you would have to eat to have 2,000 calorie a day minimum diet for a man, he'd have to eat around 47 cups of kale.
Okay, so I don't know who exactly FartK is. If you're here, FartK, let us know. Just from that name alone, FartK, you know it's like a troll account. So I assume FartK is probably trolling this guy. I mean, who in the world is recommending to eat 47 cups of kale in a day? I'm just saying, like, that's not a vegan staple. Vegan staples, by definition, are foods that you get a majority of your calories from. And who in their right mind, and I emphasize the term right mind, because I'm sure there's some extreme people out there on YouTube saying, yeah, I eat 47 cups of kale a day. Okay, we're not talking about these extreme cases on these weird restrictive diets. Just people eat a balanced, sensible vegan diet like the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics recommends, and pretty much every vegan medical doctor I know recommends. Let's see, though, what he says here about this FartK troll diet of 47 cups of kale.
Each one of those cups has 2 milligrams. Yeah, it looks small, but eat 47 cups a day on top of other stuff? Yes, you're going to have over 94 milligrams of oxalates in your body.
Okay, 94 or 97 milligrams of oxalates in a day. Actually, that's totally normal. That's actually less than what normal, and we'll see here. He has no idea what like a normal healthy range of oxalates is, and like what is recommended by health professionals if you have to watch your oxalates. If you have kidney stones, it's a whole different diet, lower in oxalates. But for normal healthy people, 97 milligrams of oxalates a day is healthy, and I'll show you in a second. I'm just not making this crap up. I mean, I have medical doctors' opinions on that, Cleveland Clinic. But anyway, let's continue on here. He's freaked out about someone eating like below 100 milligrams of oxalates a day, and like 200 to 300 is like, an average. But let's continue.
Just from eating kale with a couple of cups of greens. I mean, look at the list.
Yeah, this is the list. It's not meant to scare people. It's just an informative, objective list about foods. I mean, a list of foods and their oxalate content. It's not saying these foods will kill you or anything like that. It's just St. Joseph's Healthcare here putting out a list of oxalates and foods. It's not threatening or anything like that. It's just a fact sheet, basically. Anyway, let's continue on.
Beans, legumes. Look. I like to take a look at that cookbook.
Yeah, I heard about that too. Creative Dreamer, that Liam Hemsworth may have ate too many oxalates, and you can. And there's certain pre-existing conditions that people have that make you so that you want to reduce or limit your oxalate intake per day. But we're talking about regular, healthy people here. As he seems to be talking about just everyone. He's not talking about people with conditions.
I think I'm going to buy one.
Yeah, buy our book, bro.
Look.
Buy our Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook.
Look at
Please.
all the oxalates. This is the good choices. You guys are eating. How much bok choy do you have to eat to get the correct amount of calories per day? How much?
Okay, this is completely knucklehead crazy here. I mean, who in the world is going to get their 2,000 calories a day off bok choy? I mean, who recommends that? Show me like any person that suggests or recommends I should get like over 2,000 calories a day or roughly 2,000 calories a day from bok choy or kale. I mean, this is completely ridiculous. It's a diet that doesn't really exist. Maybe 0.001% of vegans do something as extreme and crazy as that. Or actually not crazy, I'm not being able, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, okay, let's humor him. Someone getting 2,000 calories of bok choy. Okay, did I freeze here? Let's see. Let me try it again. Ah, man.
Even if you eat bok choy, who has half the oxalates as kale, you would still be over the recommended daily average of oxalates in your diet, Ryan.
Bro, you never told us what's the recommended daily average of oxalates for healthy people or people with conditions, kidney conditions. He hasn't mentioned any number yet. He just assumes we know this. Oh, got another super chat tip here from Bauhaus Cure. Hey, thank you.
Yo, how you doing? I'm Crypto 007, bada bing, bada kale.
Thanks so much for that. That's funny, and I appreciate the super chat tip there for our pizza fund tonight. Thanks so much. I'm not laughing at the knucklehead. I'm laughing with him. But anyway, he's asserting that eating 2,000 calories of bok choy or kale puts you over a recommended daily intake of oxalates. They never even said what that was. We have no clue.
Can you pick up a calculator? Or you worried about what year the study was done? Not to the fact that it still stands as fact now?
What study? Are you still talking about the 1939? Are we going back to that? I thought right now we're talking about how many milligrams of oxalates you get if you eat an outrageous amount of bok choy. And now we're going back to the 1939 study. Just keep focused on your argument. Give me some tips here. Try to be clear in your argument. Don't try to jump around all these different places. Just try to drive home your point here. What are you getting at? What point are you trying to make?
You haven't proven anything.
Yes, I've proven that the foods that you asserted were vegan staples last week are not vegan staples. So that was my main point of the my last video. You don't know what vegan staples are. I actually think vegans are eating 2,000 calories of bok choy or kale. I mean, as I said, I'm sure a few people do, but I've never done that, and I would never ever recommend any person do something like that.
The only thing you could find wrong with this study is that it's not the staple of everything. Yeah, fine with that. But the year is an issue?
I'm just saying. I mean, if I were to make a video as a vegan and say my support for the position I'm making is based upon a 1939 study, I know for a fact I'm going to get a ton of pushback. And that's just how it is, because nutrition science advances. Some things are set in stone, as we'll see here. He tries to analogize it to like splitting the atom or discovering something that's that doesn't really change.
They split the atom in 1940. I hope that still counts.
Yeah, but some things don't change, say the mass of the Earth, once that's measured, say they did it 100 years ago, that's not going to change much. But nutrition information keeps progressing through time. Do you understand that there's some things that are just objective facts? How many satellites does the Earth have? One. Even if they discovered that 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, that doesn't change through time. But information about nutrition improves over time as techniques become more refined and technology advances. So comparing an atom to eating facts about like oxalates is pretty disingenuous, to use his term here. Oh yeah, they discovered, there's electrons and protons like 80 years ago, 100 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't change. But then they've discovered new particles, leptons and quarks and stuff like that. But yeah, the fact still remains, about what they discovered 100 years ago about atoms, but that doesn't hold true for nutrition.
The principles don't go away, Ryan, just because it's an old study.
Never said that. I just said if your information's so solid, produce some modern stuff too. That's all I said. I'm just doing what any reasonable person would do, casting doubt on the validity of basing an assumption about nutrition on a study that was done on rats, overfeeding rats spinach too. It wasn't like quantities that in proportions of humans would eat. Overfeeding rats spinach, and it was done in 30 minutes. That's all I'm saying. If your information is so objectively true, it would stand to reason you'd have some other studies that were done since the end of World War II.
I don't know these. And then he blocks people telling him to debate me, and he also blocked me from the beginning.
I said I'm assuming I probably blocked you. I have no recollection blocking this guy, but he seems like the kind of guy who's such a knucklehead. He'd probably come to our channel, say something mean or insulting, which is grounds for getting blocked from our channel. I just don't put up with crap like that. But you're saying I blocked you? Do you know that for a fact? Because I sure as hell don't. Again, Dunning-Kruger, these people that don't know anything, assume they know all this stuff, and I'm humble enough to know I don't know what happened there. I'm just taking my best guess. Have you heard of Occam's razor? Look it up.
But Ryan doesn't block anybody. He just tossed that.
No, I tell you, I block people all the time who violate our very basic rules here. Our moderators like Uncle Walt and Tracy, they know the basic rules here. Just be cool, be respectful. If you're hateful, if you're insulting, if you're leaving personal attacks, you're gone. As simple as that. Oops. Yikes. Hang on. I just scrolled down accidentally. All right, here we go. Oh, shit. Oops. I keep hitting the wrong button, guys. My bad.
That SR said, look, stop the nonsense and just debate them.
I'll roll back a second here.
But Ryan doesn't block anybody.
I do block people.
He just tossed that SR, said, look, stop the nonsense and just debate them.
Oh yeah, and the live stream, not the live stream, the premiere we did the other day for my video about him. Yeah, SR was like hassling me to forcing me. Why you must debate this guy? Don't tell me what I must or must not do. I don't listen to you, SR, and I blocked them. Afterwards, I unblocked him. So if you're watching SR, I'm cool. I unblocked you. I gave you another shot there, but just please, that's another thing I'm adding to my list. Please, no one force me or demand me that I do anything. You don't own me. You have no right to tell me what I must do or must not do. That annoys me. As a free person, a free American, whatever to call it, I don't want SR, whoever this person is, telling me that I have to debate this knucklehead here.
And a lot of people are telling me to debate you, Ryan, because they followed your advice and they got extremely sick.
Really? They followed my advice. I mean, are you serious? Like, who has followed my... And I don't have any particular advice. I follow the advice of, say, the Academy of Nutrition Dietetics, vegan medical doctors, which is eat whole food plants primarily. I'm not like these extreme vegans that say eat only raw food or drink juice only or anything like that. If anything, follow the recommendations that are just kind of like the most boring. They're not extreme or anything like that. So you're saying people followed my advice, ate a bunch of whole food plants and they've gotten sick. Strange how they've never contacted me or let me know, but they go to you. I find this really hard to believe that people following my advice, which is just the most generic vegan food advice, eat as best as you can.
Your cookbook is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, really? So eating whole food plants, that's what we recommend. Eating whole food plants, a recipe for disaster. Let's check out some recipes for disaster here. Like Hoppin' John here. That looks like it's going to kill someone here. Let's see. Green chili, with grits here, oil, stir fry. Maybe it has some bok choy in there, huh? Creamy tomato soup, split pea soup. Oh my God, it's gonna kill people. These are just the soup portions too. Don't think it's all stuff like that. Spring rolls, a peanut sauce, recipe for disaster. Veggie nori rolls. Yeah, that's gonna kill you, brah. Sea veggie salad with sea sauce. Banana walnut pancakes. Nacho cheese cauliflower tacos. A recipe for disaster? Are you kidding, bro? Are you seriously? These are the foods that are going to kill you. But if you eat group 2A, class 1 and group 2A carcinogens, that's totally fine because that's what the World Health Organization determined meat as. Oh, thanks so much for the super chat tip there, Peter. Our cookbook is the best. Thanks so much. It's funny how he has this list of poisonous foods that debunks veganism. In my opinion, I didn't even bother bringing up the World Health Organization determining, after reviewing the scientific evidence, which I'm all about, determine that processed meat is a known carcinogen and red meat is a most likely a probable carcinogen. If by his standards, this information from the WHO debunks meat eating, right? Because it's on a list of carcinogens. Why would you willingly put carcinogens in your body? So anyway, thanks, Peter. Anyway, let's keep going on here. Let's don't hit the right button.
So instead of focusing on this, you should have turned around and said, well, 1939? This isn't 1939 right here. This is current. You can go down to 29th Street and sit in the bleachers and listen to the doctors explain it to you.
Explain what? A medical condition? Yeah, I mean, that's what doctors do, but you still haven't proven that eating whole food plants leads to any of these medical conditions here. You see what I'm saying? You need to connect the dots here between eating plants, which have oxalates, and having one of these oxalate-related diseases. There's a gap. There's a huge gulf in between. Plants have oxalates, and there's these diseases related to oxalates. You haven't bridged the gap, brah. Just showing you how you think you're 100% accurate in anything you research. Well, you missed out this one, and this is my wheelhouse. Logic. There's an ocean of logic missing between these, like step A and step C.
What am I talking about? Enteric hyperoxaluria. Enteric hyperoxaluria, sometimes known as secondary hyperoxaluria, is caused by body absorbing too much oxalate from the food people eat.
Okay, that's the definition of it. And where do you get from it that, where do you get from that this is caused from being vegan? And how much is too much? Are there certain disorders that people might have that might make this disease more, show itself more than if you're a regular healthy person? You don't understand this because you're not a medical doctor, and neither am I. But I'm going to take a look at this dumb page, not this dumb, but this what he's linking to here, because it's not showing what he thinks it's linking to here. It's not showing what he thinks it shows.
And you're telling people to eat that food.
Yeah, I'm telling to eat plants. Bro, can you show me any major health organization that recommends that people don't eat plants? And again, you never showed me what's the daily maximum of oxalate intake. Are you saying all oxalates are bad?
Just the starter kit right here that shows that you're leading people into something that they shouldn't be involved in.
No, I've never led people to eat in a diet where they get most of their calories from poke or rhubarb or what have you here.
Sure, you can eat a few vegetables mixed with some kind of meat. But when you subsist on nothing but vegetables, your oxalate count is going to go through the roof.
Citation cited, bro. Please show me any medical study, any peer-reviewed, anything besides your stupid opinion here that shows if you eat nothing but plants, your oxalate count goes through the roof. I mean, if my oxalate counts were through the roof, I should have some symptoms here. And actually, let's take a look at some of the symptoms of having too much oxalates here. He showed up this disease. I don't even know what this is. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not a medical doctor. Hyperoxaluria, is that it? So let's see what are the symptoms of this. First of all, have you seen my blood test, bro? I put them up here. I'll put a link. I'll put it up here again later if you want to watch it. So let's see. If I've been vegan now almost 11 years, you would think by now I would display some of these symptoms that he's pointing out here. Kidney stones. Never had any kidney stone issues in my entire life. I'm just showing you. If what he's saying were true, that eating all these plants would put my oxalate count through the roof and therefore manifesting that high oxalate count into these diseases that he's all concerned about here, you would think I would have maybe 1 or 2 symptoms here. And let me know how many guys, since you've been vegan, have developed kidney stones. Let me know down there. Pain in the lower back or side of body. Not really. The only time I get some pain in the lower back is if I don't have good form on my lifts, like on deadlifting. Nausea or vomiting with the pain? No. Blood in the urine? No. Pain when urinating? No. Unable to urinate? No, I pee all the time. Feeling the need to urinate more often? Well, it's probably because I try to stay hydrated. Fever, chill. I don't think I pee like I pee regularly, like with a normal person who stays hydrated, an athletic person. Fever, chills, no. Urine that smells bad or looks cloudy, as far as I know, not when I get my urine analyzed, when I get my blood test, it always says it's a healthy appearance. So, bro, you're wrong. You're saying that high oxalate counts, eating all these plants could put the oxalate count through the roof. You would think after 11, when's it going to happen? How long does this take? Does it take 20 years? It makes it sound like it happens really quickly. I have none of these conditions here. None of these symptoms, I should say. So anyway, where is our video? Here it is. Anyway, again, you need to cite. If you're going to make a claim like that eating plants will shoot your oxalate content through the roof, that's a claim. That's a biological claim. It's an evidence-based claim, and you better have some solid evidence. If not, we're just listening to the Witch of Wall Street's opinion. Why would you listen to like a stockbroker talk about plant and oxalate content? It makes no sense.
And the reason why is because you don't know what you're eating. Even if you eat kale and you subsist on kale, you still have to eat 47 cups of kale to get 2,000 calories. And on top of that, you're going to get 94 milligrams.
Okay, again, who in the right mind eats 2,000 calories of kale? And furthermore, have you shown any credible medical science or research that shows that 94 milligrams of oxalates is as bad for a normal, healthy person? You haven't done that. Again, if you think you're being scientific here and you're just making crap up. You're taking a poop in your hand, you're picking it up, and you're throwing it on the wall because you are a knucklehead.
Of oxalates. Even if you change it to bok choy, which is half, you're going to have to eat 47 cups of bok choy to get the 2,000 recommended calories.
Again, who's going to eat 47 cups of bok choy? This is a make-believe fantasy diet. No one's going to eat that. I mean, I shouldn't say no one, but like 0.001% of vegans maybe do wacky, zany things like that. Knucklehead.
What's going to happen? You're going to be over 45 milligrams of oxalates.
Okay, is that bad? Again, you haven't established anything like how many grams or milligrams of oxalates per day is bad for a normal, healthy person. So now you're saying 45 milligrams is unhealthy?
Not good.
Okay, let me wind that back. I think he said not good.
You said you eat beans.
He said 45 milligrams a day of oxalates is not good, and we're talking about normal, healthy people here, so we'll show you how far off he is on this. He thinks 45 milligrams a day for a normal, healthy person is bad.
Look at this.
Look at this.
You haven't proved anything. You was dismissive, but none of that stuff that you put up there has proven me to be wrong.
You haven't proven anything. You're just calculating how many milligrams are to be had from eating certain quantities of food, and you haven't said what the like maximum daily intake of oxalates is for a normal healthy person. You're just saying, look at 45 milligrams of oxalates. 45 milligrams of oxalates. That's terrible. You don't know what's in your food. That's all you're saying. Like, show us that 45 milligrams of oxalates from food is for a normal healthy person is somehow unhealthy. Show us this. This is what we're waiting for. This is what we're talking about. Don't get your advice from a knucklehead that poops in his hand and throws on the wall, puts up some kind of scientific looking website trying to, say I'm aligned with this. What I'm saying is what they're saying. No, it's not what they're saying. In fact, let's go to that website right now. The one he was showing here. This is the exact website that he was showing here about I'm not a medical doctor, but here's what he's talking about here. Okay, so he was showing enteric hyperoxaluria, sometimes known as secondary H, we'll just call it H, is caused by the body absorbing too much oxalates from food people eat. And that's all as far as he got. And here, how can it happen? This may happen because a person has another condition in their GI tract, like a gastric bypass, Crohn's disease, short bowel syndrome, or other conditions. And it doesn't say anything about being vegan or anything like that. So it's funny how he left off that it's caused typically by other conditions that people have with their GI tract. So again, you're being extremely disingenuous. You're trying to make it sound like if you eat plants, you're going to get this, but you haven't connected the dots.
And again, when I went on to your channel during the Friday debate, I put it in once. I asked you once, twice, 3 times, and all you did was focus on the person that was a little tipsy, that was accusing you of being a lizard man. And
yeah, I remember focusing on that person that accused me of being a lizard man. You're saying I shouldn't do that? If someone calls me a lizard man, if I'm in the mood, I'm going to focus on that person. So I'm sorry, your timing sucked. Yeah, you I had 2 trolls on at the time, and I didn't see this guy's comment. I have to admit, I don't remember seeing his comments. And again, when I have 100 people on, like I nearly have right now, it's hard to see everyone's comment. But yeah, I remember the guy calling me a lizard man, and we focused on the lizard man because that's a knucklehead claim. Again, too many knuckleheads for me to keep track of. I focused on that knucklehead. But now, this knucklehead here has my undivided attention.
you just focused on that, and you never focused that on the information that you were giving out.
Again, how entitled is this person to assume that I must address his questions? Out of the 100 people on, I must focus on him. How entitled? Again, I don't want to go off. I don't want to say anything too mean. But continue on. Just showing you how he thinks I have to address him like he's some special privileged person. I can address the lizard man person if I want.
And that's what I'm trying to provide people information. That's what I do for a living.
You said you're a stock analyst or something like that. You said when someone wants to research a company or funds, if they want to invest hundreds of $millions into a company, they come to you and you tell them which fund to buy. So that's not a company. Anyway, that's your thing. If you have a wheelhouse, it might be that, but I'm a little dubious. But this is not your wheelhouse. Just because you can research a company doesn't mean you know jack about nutrition. Again, you still haven't even said what is a dangerous level of oxalates for a person. You made it sound like eating 40 odd grams of oxalates is dangerous. And I'll give you a little hint. I can find no major credible health or even a non-credible health organization that warns healthy people to eat less than 50 milligrams of oxalates a day. He's on his own. This is why you don't take nutrition advice from non-experts, especially Dunning-Kruger knuckleheads like this, who think they're experts and they're too knuckleheady to understand that they're not. Please show me a health organization, a medical doctor that says normal healthy people can't have 50 milligrams of oxalates a day, because that's what he's saying. So why would you listen to him? He's some knucklehead stock witch of Wall Street or something, as he calls himself.
And the information that you're giving out is unfounded and has no basis in fact.
No, I'm giving out information that's based in fact. I'm giving out the position of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Here is the full paper. I was having trouble last week pulling it up here, but this is the full paper here. And if Casey is doubtful, their position paper that vegan diets are nutritionally adequate and prevent most of the common diseases that Westerners get. Here's the full research that they base their opinion on. So this is, no, my positions are based in fact. You are saying 45 milligrams of oxalates is somehow dangerous. You're freelancing, bro. You have no evidence to support that. Please show me some if you do. For a healthy person.
I have access to doctors, nutritionists, engineers.
I do too. In fact, I contacted a medical doctor that I know, one I knew I could reach out to and hopefully get a quick response to. So let me show you my conversation I had with, you guys might know Dr. Avi. You know, he's a debate doctor, you know, so if this dude wants to debate someone on science, do Dr. Avi. Don't debate a musician, a guitar guy, a guy who plays his guitar. You know, talk to Dr. Avi. So I asked him, I said, there's this dude like just going off about how oxalates are horrible for you. Like, he said, yeah, typical diets contain anywhere from 100 to 300. 100. He's afraid, this knucklehead's afraid of 45 milligrams. 100 to 300 milligrams of oxalates per day. And yes, that's fine for most people, meaning people who are healthy. They don't have weird, not weird, just, known health issues with their kidneys. So here, I have access to medical doctors too. And if you want to debate Dr. Avi, Witch of Wall Street, I'll put the link to Avi's channel down here in the, as you see, if you go to Avi's channel, he debates people all the time. So if you want to debate Dr. Avi about science, if you want to debate a scientific issue, he's your guy. If you want to debate the morals or, morality, the ethics of veganism, you can talk to me. Avi's great at that too, but Avi is a scientist. So if you want to discuss science, Mr. Witch of Wall Street, talk to a scientist. Don't pick on a guy who plays his guitar. Go talk to Avi. But anyway, I have access to medical doctors too, and I got his response, and he said, yeah, 100 to 300 is just fine. And also too, if we look at, say, let's get back here. Okay, wrong one. Where is it here? Right here. This is WebMD. Again, not a vegan source of information or anything, just an unbiased kind of what, WebMD states like the general medical consensus. And here, foods high in oxalates and all, but here I want to get to how many grams of oxalates. Here, most people get, Avi said 100 to 300. Here, they say 200 to 300 milligrams of oxalates a day. And they didn't say that's unhealthy. They're just saying that's what most people get. And this guy's afraid, this knucklehead's afraid of 45 milligrams or 97 milligrams. Anyway, if you're at risk for kidney stones, sources suggest consuming less than 100 milligrams a day. And doctors may also recommend low oxalate diets of less than 50 milligrams daily for some people. Bottom line here in bold, talk to your doctor. Don't talk to some guy who talks like this and bags on Ryan for whatever, talk to a doctor. I'm just showing you the standard medical opinion is up to 300 milligrams of oxalates a day is fine. And this knucklehead is saying all people should not even get 45 milligrams a day. So if anyone is not stating fact, someone is just making crap up or quoting some dubious, non-standard, non-scientific consensus, general consensus information, that person is not me. Anyway, we'll get done with this guy in a sec. Let's see what else he says.
They all get paid for me to be on a consulting fee basis. If I got a question, they're going to get me the information and get it back, and I'll forward it to somebody else after I compile it all together. That's
all right, great. So who gave this information that it's dangerous to eat 45 milligrams of oxalates a day if you're a normal, healthy person? Please share that with me. I'd love to see this very great source you claim to have that you failed to show.
That's what I do for a living, Ryan.
I hope you do your stock work better than what you're doing here, because this is a complete mess.
So what else are you guys eating that's on this list, especially since you're overindulging in it, that you would even make kale toxic because the amounts you have to eat to get proper calories?
Again, no one's eating 2,000 calories from kale. I mean, no rational person would be doing that. I would never do that, and I would never recommend that. You're making up like a straw man diet.
pick up a calculator. I mean, look at this. Avocados, carrot juice. One fucking date is 24 milligrams. If you would eat 2 dates, you would be already at the oxalate threshold for the day. And that's coming from a nutritionist.
Okay, so he finally stated his position here. If you eat 2 dates, which will be roughly 50 milligrams. So for him, that's your oxalate. He called it threshold, but it sounds like the maximum. And that's coming from a nutritionist. Like, for whom? Like, again, which nutritionist? And is this the nutritionist recommendation for all people or people who have certain conditions? Because once again, some doctors may recommend diets of less than 50 milligrams a day for some people. But here it says, yeah, most people get 200 to 300. And if you're at risk for kidney stones, maybe less than 100, but less than 50 for just your average healthy person. Again, your nutritionist, you're either misunderstanding what your nutritionist said, because they probably didn't say for all healthy people you have to eat less than 50. It's just for people with certain already known health conditions. So again, if this, you said you're 100% accurate, you're in huge error here. Again, show me a credible, generally accepted source, WebMD, a medical doctor, who's going to come out and say that a healthy, regular person with no known kidney issues must eat less than 50 milligrams of oxalate, get less than 50 milligrams of oxalates a day. Please show me that. I would love to see it, because everything I'm seeing here shows that's just not the case for a normal, healthy person. Sick people, people with conditions, yeah, you it sounds like you're right on that one.
Figs, fresh. So you're eating all of this stuff. Even an orange has 29 milligrams of oxalates.
That should be fine, right? Because you said you can have 50 according to your nutritionist or whatever.
That's why you have to eat a balanced diet that's not too heavily laden with oxalates. And the only way you can do that is by consuming meat, or this 1939 study.
Meat or what? Notice how he's making a huge health claim here. He's telling people what they should or should not eat as if he were some kind of credentialed health expert. He's just some dude that I research companies for Wall Street. People, they want to invest $100 million in a company. That's what he does. So who is he to tell people the exact amount of milligrams they can't go over as a normal, healthy person? Because he has no idea what he's talking about. He said some nutritionist told him that. And again, he might be misunderstanding this well-intentioned nutritionist, not dissing this person, but the nutritionists claim that 50 milligrams is the maximum. That's for people with conditions, as I showed you. That's a true fact, but we're talking about normal, healthy people like us here. And I can say I'm healthy because I have 8 years of blood tests for you to look at and try to criticize. And hey, Wall Street witch bro, where's your blood test, by the way? I'd love to see your blood test. Has he put them up here? In fact, I'll donate. Do you have a Patreon or something, bro? I will pay you money if I can see your blood test. So just let me know if you have blood tests up, and let me know. I'll contribute.
Kind of gives you a warning, right, Ryan? Reproduction is impossible.
Yep, that was for the rats that were grossly overfed spinach. I know so many vegans that had babies, so there goes your stupid theory there.
The bones are extremely low in calcium and tooth structure. It was in rats? Well, Ryan, most of the medicine that you take has been tested on animals, Ryan. It's modern science. Those white lab rats are the ones that get sacrificed so you can have your vaccinations, Ryan. It's called science. They're called lab rats for a reason.
So is he like taunting me that the FDA, does tests on animals for medicines? Is that what is he trying to do? He's trying to like medicine shame me or something like that? I mean, we can look at the definition of veganism. It doesn't say everything has to be hunky-dory and 100% perfect, just as far as possible and practicable. So yeah, if I have to take a life-saving medication that was tested on an animal, that doesn't mean you're not vegan. And by the way, I don't have to do anything like that. I'm fine.
Unless, of course, maybe you want to use people like you're doing in your vegan experiment, which already cost a couple of kids their lives and had their parents go to jail for murder.
Again, veganism is not an experiment. This is your pooping in your hand, throwing it on the wall, because this is not based in reality. Again, let's look at the position paper of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Appropriately, and this is again after reviewing the scientific literature, not listening to some witch of Wall Street, self-proclaimed. Appropriately planned vegetarian vegan diets are healthful and nutritionally adequate for all people in all stages of life. So again, veganism is not an experiment. It's an experiment if you do something weird like eat 2,000 calories from kale or bok choy. Yeah, that's an experiment. You're freelance and you're doing your own thing. But if you're eating a sensible vegan diet, it's not an experiment. I should be dead. According to you, why are these other people dying? And I have like great blood tests and fantastic athleticism for a guy my age. Can you explain that, Mr. Knucklehead?
I don't know how you can be okay with that. And then I tell you, it's not just spinach or those. It's not just those ones that are here. This is the starter kit right here. And this clearly tells you, yes, there is poisonous plants. And yes, they are vegan staples. I've watched people.
These are not vegan staples. Poke, rhubarb, Swiss chard, these are not vegan staples. I mean, you're just, again, making crap up. You're pooping your hand, throwing it on the wall. You're just making crap up because you're a knucklehead. These are not vegan staples. Non-vegans eat rhubarb, or they probably like rhubarb as much or as little as vegans do too. I mean, just everyone can eat these things. These are not vegan staples. No one in their right mind is getting 2,000 calories a day from poke or rhubarb or Swiss chard. This is nonsense.
Put together a concoction, which I calculated from this list. They had 3,000 milligrams of oxalates in it.
Well, if they're doing that, then they're doing something stupid. That's not what veganism is about. That's not what a sensible, appropriately planned vegan diet is about.
And then you say in your cookbook has no oxalates in it. And you don't.
No, I didn't see our cookbook. Again, this is funny. At the beginning, the guy saying on Wall Street he's known as always being 100% accurate. You misunderstood what I said in the response video. I said I was going through like the first like 8 or so recipes. I was pointing out they didn't have any of those foods from your 1939 study. And I did admit that, and it said, note, spinach is an optional ingredient. So I didn't say that there's absolutely zero oxalates in any of the foods. I just said of your 5 or 8, whatever poisonous foods there from 1939, they're not highly present in our cookbook. One of the first 7 or 8 recipes had spinach as an optional ingredient. So again, you're not 100% accurate. You're not even 50% accurate.
You don't even know how much oxalates are involved in all the materials that you use for your cookbook.
Yeah, I don't calculate the oxalate content of my food because I'm not doing anything stupid. I'm probably getting what your average person is getting, like what I showed from WebMD, Dr. Avi. I did talk to a medical doctor today about this. 100 to 300 milligrams is fine. It's normal and safe for most healthy people. And shall I show you some more recommendations for that? I can. I'm almost done with this guy, guys.
You are disingenuous, all right? Because you seem to think that everything focuses just on here because you have a childish view of the world. No,
I focused on your 1939 study because, again, that is what you showed me, and that's what I responded to. I'm not a psychic. I can't go into his little brain and try to understand the studies that he has in mind. I mean, just show me. If you have information, show me. And he did here, and it's skin. It doesn't prove his point.
No, it's not just that. It's this right here.
Yeah, we talked about this.
You don't have these people's credentials. They're telling you eat too much oxalates, you're going to get enteric hyperoxalate.
Yo, again, let's look at that page. It doesn't say if you eat too much oxalates, you're going to get this condition. It doesn't say that. It says, where is it? Here it is. Here's what he showed. See how there's a fold here for read more? He didn't click the read more. He says, enteric hyper whatever it is. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I've never made any pretense about being one. Sometimes known as secondary H is caused by the body absorbing too much oxalate content from the food people eat. If he were not disingenuous, because he's being disingenuous, he would click and show the read more. Look what happens. This may happen because a person's vegan? No. It doesn't say that. Does it happen because a person eats too much produce, as he's asserting? No, it happens because a person has another condition in their GI tract. That's why it happens. So if anyone's being disingenuous, it's the knucklehead from Wall Street.
It's going to lead to oxalosis, and it's going to cut your kidneys down. You're going to get kidney stones. And there's plenty of people out there that are ex-vegans that will attest that they got kidney stones.
Maybe they had a condition in their GI tract, as it says here. I mean, that's what it says. It has a condition in the GI tract. If Liam Hemsworth, that dude that played Thor, got kidney stones, maybe he had a condition in his kidney or GI tract, which I don't have. I don't have kidney stones. I have none of the symptoms that involve this disease. None. Zero. Like, when's it going to happen, Wall Street? Make 100% prediction. Tell me when I'm going to have kidney stones or any of these things, like blood in the urine, pain while urinating. Please let me know when I'm going to have these symptoms, Mr. Know-it-all, 100% accuracy.
Shaw, Daphne, kidney stones. Daphne's friends had their gallbladders removed.
They had issues, other issues that didn't involve being vegan. Like, vegans can have GI tract issues just as non-vegans can. It doesn't mean if you go vegan, you're immortal and impervious to every physical ailment. That's ridiculous.
Doesn't slow you down one bit, does it, Ryan?
No, it doesn't slow me down that some people have kidney stones who are non-vegan and some people have kidney stones who are vegan. Again, how come I'm not having them? How come Angie's not having them? How come people in the chat aren't having? This is the thing. People can make these outrageous claims, and they should have predictive power if these outrageous claims are true. If what he's saying is true, that if you eat over 40 or 50 milligrams of oxalates a day, you're going to get this high, whatever this disease is called here, which gives you kidney stones and blood in your urine. How come very few people have this? And this will be my 11th year, Wall Street Witch Bro. When is it going to happen? Why am I not getting these things? And again, look at my blood tests. You want to go through my blood tests and try to debunk them? When's my health going to start falling apart? Again, it's not because this information, this knucklehead's info. He's just making crap up. He's taking bits he's heard from here and there and synthesizing them in his own warped mind and putting out conclusions that probably none of these groups would agree with. No, I see no group saying that you should have less than 50 milligrams of oxalates a day if you're healthy.
How about having a little empathy for people?
Yeah, I do. And I have empathy for animals too. I'm being so nice to this guy. I can be way meaner.
So here goes the list.
Okay, I've had enough of this guy. I really have. Let's just move on. I think I've proved my point that he has no credible information whatsoever about what he's trying to talk about here. Actually, I think I had one more. We're done with him, but I'm going to show you one more. Here, I found this on veganhealth.org, where they go through studies. And basically, this part of their page here was concerned about where are we at here? Oxalate content. Oxalates in a vegetarian or vegan diet. And so there's been no studies measuring oxalate levels or kidney stone risk in vegans, but there's been several done on vegetarians. Okay, so I know it's different, vegan and vegetarian, but his claim it's the same. Vegans and vegetarians are eating all these plants. We're going to get way more than 50 milligrams of oxalates a day. And I'll just cut to the chase here. They went over 2 studies, and where'd it go here? Here it is. In summary, the research seems to indicate that if oxalate is not higher than 3 milligrams a day, which I told you seems to be like a safe assumption, that's the range. I've been seeing this number all through all these sources here, like 1 on the low, 1 to 200 to 300 on the upper end. And calcium intake is adequate. The average plant-based eater should not be at higher risk for kidney stones than the average person. Do you understand that? You can get 300 as long as your calcium intake is adequate. Vegans or vegetarians are not at higher risk. So again, show me some studies that show this is complete nonsense. You're not gonna. So anyway, enough with this knucklehead. I saw Rachel ever join, so if we got some questions now, we can entertain them. Looks like my mom is trying to call me during all that. Hope everything's okay. So yeah, let's do questions now. We're done with the Knucklehead. I spent a little bit longer on it. I spent an hour on it, but I think I addressed everything he brought up here, and I showed that his information is not based on any scientific reasoning. There's no scientific body. I can't even find a doctor that's going to say 50 milligrams of oxalates a day is too much for a normal healthy person. He's on his own. That's why you shouldn't take medical advice from non-medical professionals, and that's me too. But when I give you medical advice, I show you the scientific consensus, the medical consensus. I don't make crap up. I don't poop on my hand, pick it up and throw on the wall like this guy does. Yeah, bunch of knuckleheads around. You got that right. A bunch of knuckleheads. So anyway, let's do questions now. Do we have any? And thanks Tracy and Peter and Uncle Walt for holding the fort down. Do we have any? Did we have any knuckleheads waiting around? I shouldn't call you guys knuckleheads until proven to be a knucklehead. But do we have any anti-vegans that were here to debunk veganism? Did they, take me up on the title of this stream here? So let me know. Thank you, Race. Yeah, Race says, I don't know, Ryan. I think he beat you. KO, bro. Just say sorry and cut your losses. Good advice there, Race. I appreciate that. he showed me, huh? He showed me you can't eat any oxalates on your diet. Can you visualize 47 cups of bok choy, Daniel? No, I can't. I can't even visualize 47 cups of bok choy or kale, let alone seriously consider putting that in my body and over the course of a day. That's just nonsense. Peter, Vegan Gains ain't back yet? I was under the impression last live stream that he was going to be back soon, like any day now. He's still not up. Anyone know? Because I don't know. Oh, okay, Tracy. Did he go, or did you guys ban the troll, Tracy? Let me know. I missed all that. Indeed, and gone. Okay. Jam it. Thanks. One wonders what motivates these people to try to debunk veganism. I don't know. I have no idea why they think they feel the need to debunk veganism, and they're so sure they have all this great information, and once it's examined with any amount of proper scrutiny, unlike this loosey-goosey knucklehead examination, it doesn't hold any water. It's just poked with holes. This whole vegans get too much oxalates. Again, where's my kidney stones? Where is your information, your fact-based information that over 50 milligrams a day is bad for healthy people? Please show us that. Okay, Vegan Gains is back. Thanks for checking, Peter. Cool. He just privated his old videos, Vegan Gains. Okay, that's what someone told me a while ago, and that seemed to make a lot of sense. He was trying to lay low. You don't want a bunch of ammo for haters to try to take you down. These anti-vegan knuckleheads, I'm sure, are messing with Vegan Gains too and trying to bring him down, because he's an easier target because he says way more outrageous, offensive type of things. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. That's just his personality. I'm more chill, and he's an easier target to take down via YouTube's community standards. Silent history. Yes, I do eat more than 6 bananas a day typically. Today I had 7 bananas. Tomorrow, if I play basketball and burn 1,000 calories, I'll probably have 7, maybe 8 bananas. Yesterday, I think I had 5 bananas. It really depends on how much activity I did that particular morning for, what I'm going to eat afterwards. And we're holding all the right cards, Race Liver. Are you talking about the information that we have to show these knuckleheads? Yeah, let 5G giants. Yeah, there are so many underlying health conditions that people have that would cause so many adverse effects. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He left that off. I showed you. Hell, he didn't click the read more. It shows, all he showed was by oxalates in the diet, and you have to hit read more to show what I was talking about there. That it didn't say from being vegan. It says from other health conditions, particular gastrointestinal tract issues. Taylor, do I usually blend the bananas in a smoothie? Yeah, I don't like over blend them, but yeah, they're to the point where they're not really chewable anymore, even though I try to chew my smoothies, but I just kind of blend them the most minimum I need to get a smoothie made. Bananas are low in oxalates. So thank God, so our Wall Street witch guy here can rest easy at night, not worry about me perishing with kidney stones from eating too many bananas. I guess he'll probably worry at night for my maybe potassium levels or something like that. Yeah, that's a good point for you to find. Yeah, the vegans I know too are on average a little bit healthier, if not a lot healthier than their contemporaries, of their same age group that are not vegan. Okay, race lever. So that was the second part of your, they have to try to debunk us because of our existence calls their bluff, but then we're holding all the right cards. Yeah, I get it now. Apple bananas. Yeah, in the past I've tried all, various kinds of like Cavendish bananas I could find around here, and they're cool, but yeah, just for making big smoothies, yeah, it's nothing like a big, Cavendish banana. Good point, Uncle Wall, huh? Misinformation is lying, which this guy's putting out. The funny thing, he thinks I'm putting out misinformation. Again, everything, and I want to emphasize this, everything I say here with regards to health is backed up by scientific studies and not weird outlier ones funded by the potato industry or the kale industry. It's just like, standard non-industry funded studies that reflect a general consensus as far as I can tell, or positions of like major organizations. So I'm just not making stuff up. He is just making stuff up. He's saying that you shouldn't eat so much oxalates. He's the one saying vegans have their oxalate levels through the roof. Again, show us the studies, have your source. If you're just gonna make crap up, it should be known that it's in the realm of crap and it's not in the realm of evidence-based information. So anyway, I don't know anything about collagen bouillon. Never tried one before. What's that, Travis W? Alligators got all them teeth and no toothbrush, therefore you're no longer vegan. That doesn't make any sense, and that's great because none of these arguments against veganism ever make any sense. Let's see, after all that, how are we on the super chat tips there? Let me see if we're in the runnings for a pizza tonight, because we haven't got one for the past few weeks. Let me see how we're doing here. Just kind of curious. All right, we're on our way. We're not there yet, but we are definitely on the way for the pizza fund. Let's see. Do I eat plantains? Yeah. In the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook, we have a great plantains, beans, and rice. I call it Cubanite recipe. Yeah, love plantains. I don't eat them all that often. Maybe like we will make that maybe once a month or something like that. But yeah, nothing against plantains. Oh, I hit the microphone. But I'd love to eat them more. Okay, thanks for pointing out, guys. There's vegan collagen supplements. Yeah, I told you to know anything about that. Thanks, Vegan Jesus, you're right. He's just upset that I'm making more vegan tenors. Remember he said he had 2 tenors at St. Jude University twice? He was up for tenors twice? Again, is he talking about tenure? Like, again, is he a professor? And why would he be? I don't know. It wasn't clear. Anyway, durian. I had durian a few times. I would like to eat some fresh durian in the tropics, but I've never had anything beyond like frozen durian, which we can find at the Asian markets here. And it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's pretty tasty and sometimes it's gross, like old gym shoes. You never know. It's like, you never know. Silent history. Do I happen to have the link for that study? Which study, silent history? Let me know which one you are talking about. And if I have it, I'll give it to you. If you can get past the smell, durian ain't that bad. Sometimes it's really smelly and bad, and it tastes bad too. But yeah, often the taste is better than the smell. Let's see. Oh yeah, Uncle Walt. Yeah, there's a few Mother's Markets. They just opened one up in Sunset Beach here. We used to go to, I think what was the original one on Beach Boulevard in Huntington a long time, but the company's been changed. Like the guy who owned or started it, the founder died. It's been passed on to, I think, his kids, and they sold it off to some private investors, and it's not been quite the same anymore. So we don't go that often, but we'll go once in a while. Race lover. Now, let's not even go down that road there. Plants feel pain? Silent history? Who mentioned that earlier? If you're still here, Mr. Plants feel pain, make yourself known and let's hear your argument how plants feel pain. I would love to hear that. Good point. Let 5G giants. There's literally no evidence that can debunk veganism. That's why you have knuckleheads like the guy who hasn't got the memo. Oh, you want the WebMD link? Yeah, I'll give you the WebMD link for sure. Let's see, let me find which one that was. Here it is, the WebMD, foods high in oxalates. Where it shows, and again, I'm going to paste a study to not a study, but it's the article from WebMD, a very non-controversial, non-vegan biased source of information. And you can see quite clearly, they say you can have 200-300 milligrams a day of oxalates if you are, a regular healthy person, as I am, and I suspect most of you guys are too. If you have a health condition, don't come to me and ask for advice. Call your doctor or find a health professional. Not a medical expert, not a health expert. But I do know a few little things just from doing this for, 11 years now, being vegan. Almost 11 years. Yeah, if you haven't had plantains virtuoso, get some. Hopefully your market will have some. If not, maybe try an Asian or maybe even a Latin supermarket. I know they're popular foods in Cuba. Don, what I think of the American Cancer Society having non-vegan recipes under Eat Healthy. You know what I think about that. I any of those health organizations. If you've seen What the Health, well, the takeaway from that is not really the health claims so much as I think they put out really good information about the lobbying effects, how much money that these organizations receive from the meat and dairy industries, so that they're pressured to not omit animal products in their eat healthy diet. So that's what it is. It's a bunch of crap. It's the result of money. Yeah, Uncle Walt. Yeah, if you get plantains, they're different bananas. Really ripen them. I mean, I really like my bananas ripe, but plantains, I go the extra mile. You want them almost where they're really soft. So they should be really brown, like a really super ripe banana. I think you told me that, Virtuoso. Your ex-girlfriend went off with Angie's cookbook and she's not vegan anymore. Hey, hopefully she's still making the recipes in there. Johnny, dye my hair blonde one day, like bleach it. I think about it sometimes when I see some of the K-pop and actors and stuff like that, but nah, I know where to get it done at. It's a place that cut my hair. That's what they do. They specialize in that sort of thing. It's like $300. I just put some henna on my hair again last Saturday, I think it was, but I don't think it's noticeable. Can you even tell that I put some? It's supposed to be like a more red tinted henna. You can still see my grays on the side here too, but I don't think it really did anything. I don't know what I did wrong. I sat out there for like an hour letting it soak in, and I didn't do it to hide anything or anything. I just did it just because I'm cool, right? I'm just want to do something fun. I'm a musician. We do stuff to our hair. Silent. Yeah, the guy says a lot of weird things. Let's see, Virtuoso. I don't run as much these days. I mean, I pretty much every day, except when I'm playing basketball, I'll get on the indoor exercise bike thing, and I'll sit on that 20 to 30, 40 minutes, and I get a lot of running when I'm on the basketball courts, but I don't really do just go out and jog anymore. I haven't done that for months. Uncle Walt, yeah, VD saw my gray hair, so I know veganism's going to be null and void now, right? Because, 54-year-old Ryan's got some grays on the side there. Vegan Metalhead, thanks. What's that? A bitter melon fund here. Thanks so much. I'll just go to the pizza fund probably, unless we should do an oxalate fund, huh? Just buy a whole day of high oxalate foods, eat a bunch of spinach. Maybe I'll try to eat 47 cups of bok choy for our friend here. Just kidding. There's no way in hell you could do that. I could be paid to do that. Virtuoso, no, I'm not a doctor. Just want to get that again. I'm not a health expert, despite what that clown said about me, that he got me to admit that I have no credentials. I've been freely sharing that with you guys the whole time. I'm not a health professional. I should get a spinach pizza. Good point, Tracy. I think there's a little bit of spinach on that pizza that we get. I can't remember. Hey, Angie, is there spinach on the Frailty pizza? Ah, darn, there's not. Okay, just seeing if we can get some oxalates on that sucker. Ooh, the Tuscan kale pilaf from the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook. Get it here, shop at happyhealthyvegan.org. We got them in stock. Let me put the link there. I don't think I've posted the link all day to that. So let me...
Actually not the main ingredient?
Yeah, kale's not the main ingredient. It's really like, it's rice. Rice and beans. With some kale. I doubt you're going to get more than 300 milligrams of oxalates out of that sucker. Paresh, veganism is healthy for kids and pregnant women. Let me show you how I'm different than that knucklehead I just debunked, and most, even like 90% of other vegan YouTubers who mean well. I'm not bagging on them. A lot of people will say yes, it is, and I will say yes, it is. But you don't have to believe me. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a health professional. I am not a health expert. But when I make claims like this, I will show you why I say this. It's not because I'm pretending to be something I'm not, like a health expert. I will show you why. It's the opinion of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and their opinion isn't just an opinion. It's not like they sat in an armchair and, yeah, I think it's healthy for people that are pregnant. No, they actually reviewed the relevant scientific literature, and it says right here that appropriately planned. And actually, this group, who you don't know who they are, they're the largest and one of the largest health organizations of health professionals in the United States, if not the world. Appropriately planned vegan diets are healthful and nutritionally adequate for all people. These diets are appropriate for all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, adolescence, older adulthood, and for athletes. So again, this is not me just making crap up and throwing it on the wall like these knuckleheads that come here. No, this is a position paper based on relevant scientific research into the matter, and this is what this organization of health professionals has stated here. So yeah, it is. Oops, I went to the wrong one there. Let's go back to definition of vegan and get out of here. Okay. I agree with you, Rach. Yeah, just because someone is a doctor, that doesn't necessarily make them a health expert. They might be trained really well in what they do as a physician, whatever they're doing, but it doesn't mean they know about oxalates. Doesn't mean they know about vitamin B12 or iron or how. Well, I'm saying that they typically receive less than 4 hours of nutrition training in all their many 7 years of medical school and residency. So yeah, they're not trained in health particularly. They're trained really well to do what they do, which is save your life and stuff like that. But as far as giving you nutrition advice, that's why they often contract out stuff like that, work like that, to actually nutritionists. And then a lot of them are kind of biased against vegan diets too, if they themselves already brought that bias with them to their nutrition training. There you go, Daniel. Yeah, I should, instead of having my 7-8 banana smoothie, I'll just have a bok choy smoothie, huh? Put in 40 cups of bok choy and freak out our knucklehead friend. But yeah, you're right, Race Slaver. But stock market crypto heroes know, Ryan. They know. Yep, that's who I want to get my nutrition advice about. If I want to find out how many milligrams of oxalates are safe for a normal, healthy person to eat in a day, I'm not going to go ask my doctor. I'm not going to ask my nutritionist. I'm not going to look up WebMD or the Cleveland Clinic, which I showed as well. I'm going to ask stock market crypto hero guy. That's who I'm going to ask. That's who has the best, most solid fact-based information about how much oxalates to consume in a day. Not a trained expert. Let's see, Vegan Metalhead, how's it going? You didn't flag your comment. You did a South Park quote. I must have missed that. I like South Park quotes. Let me see if I can see that. I didn't see it. I scrolled up quite a bit too. Let's see. That's good advice, Jamet. I don't know if you're talking to someone here, but yeah, don't ask questions in order to start arguments. So if someone is doing that, if you want to ask me a question, say, hey, Ryan, that asked your question, but don't like just try to piss off everyone in the live chat here. So if you have a question, or if you think you just want to, you have a statement, some fact that I'm unaware of that debunks veganism, have at it. Just ask. And if I see it, I'll reply. Good one, Fruitify. I got 99 problems, but oxalates ain't one. Yeah, Corvid Moon, I'm with you too. Before I went vegan, I had high triglycerides, and I was just kind of told it's kind of a genetic thing. But I think it was just the lifestyle thing. I was just doing what my parents did, like drink soda all the time. And now as a vegan, I should be eating all these bananas and stuff. I should have really high triglycerides. My triglyceride levels are higher ever since I've been vegan than back before, 20, 30 years ago when I had high triglycerides. So yeah, since going plant-based, eating how I do, triglycerides have gone down. But maybe you're different. I'm just saying my case. I'm not saying this will happen to you. I'm not a medical doctor or anything like that. I'm just saying that's what happened to me. And I think it's fair. It's totally cool for me to share what happened to me. I think that's allowable, right? Vegans can share what happened on their blood tests. There's no law against that. I'm sure anti-vegans would like to shut us down. But anyway. Elaine, I don't know what sarcopenia is. Again, these are questions for medical doctors. If you have that, I don't know what it is. Muscle wasting, I don't even know what muscle wasting is. How to get lots of protein as a vegan. I can answer that part. I don't know about those conditions. But as far as getting lots of protein, yeah, I mean, first of all plants have protein. Let's get that out of the way. Secondly, if you want to, you can intentionally choose plants that are particularly high in protein. I mean, particularly if you're looking for protein content, legumes are your friend. Any form of legume from any bean, even things like quinoa, like pseudo grains like that. But there's plenty, just look it up. There's plenty of plants that are just packed with protein. In fact, you can, if you want to design a diet that gives you more protein than you need, eating whole food plants, you can do it. Just going to be eating a lot of legumes. Smutch guy to the rescue? Where is Smutch? Is there a Smutch dude here? I didn't see Smutch. If there's a Smutch guy to the rescue. Yeah, good point, Metalhead. Yeah, I haven't talked about it in a while, but Asians are typically slim in their home country. They come to the United States, have a Western diet, and their body mass indexes go up, often to the point into obesity, or at least being overweight. Whereas, if they stayed eating the traditional diets in their homelands, as you put it, billions of Asians are obese from rice, and when they move to the West, they add a bunch of meat and dairy and slim down. Farce the opposite. Yeah, it's the opposite of what someone's probably saying there. Yeah, lentils. Yeah, but if they really want to get some extra protein, I'll give you the website and the link here. It's Clean Machine. Again, not sponsored by any company, but I am an affiliate with them because I just love their stuff. And I've been taking the clean green protein, which is duckweed. It's not some kind of bunch of weird, strange chemicals. It's a whole food plant combined with some pea protein, all ground up, and I add this to my smoothies. So the link for that is here it is. Here's the link and the discount code. It's a little on the expensive side, I have to admit, but once you get the 10% discount applied, it's kind of reasonable. And this usually lasts me about a month or so. I don't usually do a full scoop or anything like that, unless I did something really like used a lot of muscle, like on a squat or deadlift kind of day. I'll go for the full scoop because I know a lot of muscles got work, so probably a lot of my protein needs as far as muscle repair for repairing your glutes and hamstrings is more than like what you would need for repairing your biceps. Ah, Avishi. Thank you, Avishi. Oh, let's listen to your speech to text here.
Just wanted to say that my therapist happened to be a vegan, which is awesome. And I'm about to enter a prestigious mental health house where all the food is vegetarian, sadly not fully plant-based. There is hope.
Wow, those are two good bits of news there. A mental health house where the food is vegetarian. That's a great start. If you don't have to worry about the meat, if you can, all you have to worry about is fending off any animal, like dairy that would be in the products, dairy and I guess maybe eggs. And maybe fish, depending on how they define vegetarian. But that's awesome. And thanks so much for the super chat tip there. Your therapist happened to be vegan. That's cool, you know. That's just cool. There's that extra bond of trust that they understand what you understand, that it's wrong to harm animals. And there's certain health benefits to be had too if you want to eat in a healthier sort of way. So that's cool. Sean, cycling gave you big hamstrings? Usually, for me, that kind of slimmed my legs down a bit. Maybe if you're doing lots of climbing or something like that, because for me, go riding for a few hours, burn 1,000 calories, that got me more slimmed down than ever before. Yeah, me and getting bigger hamstrings now from doing the weights, deadlifts, squats type stuff. Travis, you like your dry roasted soybeans as a snack for extra protein. So I'm saying if someone wants to make sure they're getting more and more protein, you have a little snack like that. Eat legumes. Soy is a legume. Hey, Sean, yeah, the night is going pretty cool. Sony guy one. I don't know, sounds like a channel may have talked about in the past. I don't know. I'm kind of over dealing with keto knuckleheads, to be honest with you. I mean, whatevs. Let's see. What do I think of vegan protein powder? They have them at vegan stores. I just like my Clean Machine, Uncle Walt, to be honest with you. I see no reason to take anything else. I mean, they're truly a vegan company. Jeff Palmer, like 30-year vegan, a natural bodybuilder competitor and champion, I believe. Completely vegan product. I just love what they're doing. Small company, and I love even more than that is what it's made out of. Like some vegan proteins are made of like chemical isolates and stuff like that. The Clean Machine stuff is just a whole food plant. 2 whole food plants, primarily duckweed with a little bit of pea protein, just whole food plants. So I appreciate that. And since it's a whole food plant instead of chemical isolates, you're getting all the nutrients, all the vitamins, minerals that come along with it being a whole food plant. So I'll post a link one more time in case anyone's interested. I don't even look at any of the other like Vega or whatever the other stuff. I'm just 100% Clean Machine. I like everything about them, the company, the people, the product. I came for the protein or the amino acids, and I stayed because like bioavailable B12, omega-3 fatty acids, and other vitamins and minerals. So I'm done. That's all I want. Can you grow your own duckweed? I think it's possible, but would it be like contaminant free, like edible for human consumption? But I'm pretty sure you can. It's just kind of like a pond scum sort of weed. Yeah. And maybe you could smoke it too. I don't know. I don't think it has any psychedelic or entheogenic properties or anything like that. Race, you got to get out of where you live in there, man. Ducks need to be able to have the right where you live to possess and smoke duckweed if they want. Do I ever drink kombucha? No, pretty much never. I mean, if I'm going to drink something kind of fermented, I'm going to have wine or something, and I don't do that all that often. Even though I did have, strangely, very small amounts of alcohol 3 times this week. Yeah, I'm getting crazy. Like I, split a margarita Tuesday night with Angie. Oh yeah, Monday night. Yeah, we were at this bar at the Disneyland Hotel, and I had an alcoholic drink, alcohol-free drink. It was called like the Polynesian Punch. But Angie had this minty mojito, and I had a little bit of that. So anyway, I had alcohol a few times this week, but yeah, nothing in like quantities that I was ever like feeling much, especially not the next day, not hungover or dehydrated. Anyway, yeah, I do drink sometimes. Not going to drink today. Yeah, if you guys like kombucha, awesome. It just, for me, if I'm going to have something fermented, I'm just going to have some wine. Sean, yes, that's exactly what happened to me after having the mojito. Exactly. How did you know? Did it get out there? Did someone film it? Yeah, I'm with you, Tracy. A booch once. I'll have a booch once in a blue moon. Even a little bit more rare than a blue moon. It's not like I'm against it or anything like that, like I am with garlic. But yeah, I'm just not, I'm not attracted to drinking kombucha, let's say. I mean, I grew up all these years without kombucha and did just fine. And all of a sudden, now that it's out, I tried it. So, okay, I see what it is. And nothing about it, like, is pulling me back. Like, oh, I got to have that kombucha or else my day's going to suck. What do I think about California maybe legalizing psychedelics? I'm totally behind that. They shouldn't be criminalized. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, why are mental states legal or illegal? If you want to have like a shamanic experience with like, say, like mushrooms and do it responsibly, why should that be a jailable offense? Or if you want to grow your own mushrooms in your own home, which are pretty easy to do, and take them for your own private use, why should that whole thing I described there be something that would land you in jail? All you want to do is have like a spiritual experience and not harm anyone. There's no victim. It's a victimless crime.
For the Oxalate Fund.
Thank you, Atomic Vegan. Thank you for donating to the Oxalate Fund. Yes, one day I'm going to have a bunch of spinach and rhubarb just to piss that knucklehead off. Put you in jail for eating mushrooms. Yeah, I mean, some states, yeah, maybe here the crime is, the penalties are less. But yeah, I know in some states you can go to jail for like 5 years for smoking a joint. In California, that's just completely unimaginable right now. So yeah, I think mental states or states of consciousness, I should say, shouldn't be legislated into illegality. So that's my opinion. It's, I don't know if you want to call that like libertarian or Democrat or Republican. I don't abide or subscribe to those labels. I'm all about independent free thought. If it's victimless, if you're growing your own mushrooms and you take them in your own house responsibly, who is the victim? Why should that be a punishable, jailable, prisonable, is that a word, offense? True, Elaine. I know what you're talking about, but it's not quite the same as like taking like, say, like 3 to 5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms. I haven't done that in a long time, but I remember that back in the 90s quite well. And yeah, sleep deprivation can be really powerful, but it's nothing like the states of consciousness that you can reach with psilocybin. Again, I'm not promoting this stuff. I don't do this stuff. I think I did psilocybin mushrooms once in the 2010s. That's it. But yeah, did them like pretty much once a year in the 90s, once or twice a year for a lot of the 90s. Didn't do them all that often, just to have my experience, learn from it, take what I learned into my life, move on, and come back again. Never did any toad licking, and definitely wouldn't do any now. Let's see, JL. Someone wants to start feeding their family healthier meals. She asked me where vegans get their protein. Tell them every freaking plant has protein. Show her some vegan bodybuilders and vegan athletes. I mean, where do they get their protein? Does she need more protein than, say, like Nimai Delgado? Does she need more protein than I do, being 6'4.5" and really athletic? For my age, an hour a day of exercise pretty much every day, and more when I go to the gym. So I mean, how much protein does she really need? Is she like an elite lifter or bodybuilder or something like that? I mean, how much protein does she really need? So I'm saying all plants have protein, and if you want to, eat more legumes. It's not that hard. Yeah, 47 cups of psilocybin mushrooms a day. I wonder what the oxalate content of that is. And is our knucklehead friend from Wall Street against that? Yeah, Race. Yeah, you know what to do. Yeah, just get a protein dealer. That'll answer all your questions there. Uncle Walt raises a great question. I know he's asking it more hypothetical, not rhetorical. Where do animals get their protein? Huh? They get it from eating plants. That's the answer to that. So if a gorilla can get all their protein from plants, and a rhinoceros, an elephant could get all their protein from plants. I'm sure your friend who's worried about protein can get enough protein as well. And I saw a comment there come from Avi. I noticed that most of the, and thank you so much for the super chat tip there, Avi. I noticed that most of the plant sympathizers usually refer to an old book from, the ones that say plants have feelings. Again, that's not actual real science or anything. I think Angie found a copy of it here, and I was just looking at it, laughing at it. I mean, really, here's how to debunk that plants have feelings. I'm not saying plants aren't aware in their own way of awareness, and I'm not trying to use that in a human sense of awareness, like, eyes, ears. They don't have any of those. And beyond that, deeper parts of our brain, they don't have a brain. They don't have a central nervous system. So they're incapable of experiencing consciousness or feelings in the sense that creatures that are equipped biologically with that hardware have. So it's just absolutely impossible. Yeah, they have a certain kind of awareness, but not in a human kind, not in a brain kind. They know how to orientate themselves to the sun. You can watch that in your own garden, how some plants will like bend to get into the sun. They have other functions too, how to absorb and pull nutrients from the soil at an optimal rate. They know a lot, but no, again, I'm using human terms to describe something that has nothing to do with human-like functioning. So we've got to get that away. Even though you can use human words to describe it, you're being more poetic than literal. Yep, if so, there's a plant holocaust and no one's talking about it other than people who don't want to go vegan. Like, they're fine with killing animals, and animal holocaust, totally cool, but plant holocaust, no, that's where they draw the line. They just ignore the fact that more plants are grown to feed animals than to feed humans, so they ignore that part of the plant holocaust. So they're just hypocrites. They're just saying crap. Again, they're pooping in their hands, picking it up, throwing on the wall, trying to find some dumb excuse to try to debunk veganism. It's always a fail. Think of the plants. Yes, I do think of the plants. I love eating my plants. I'm very plant thoughtful. Let's see. Vegan metalhead. I've never tried a vape pen. I've never tried this whole vaping nicotine thing. I hate nicotine cigarettes. My personal thing. If you do it, I'm not bagging on you. I just personally dislike it. That's what ruined my dad's health. I hated smelling the secondhand smoke when I was younger. I just detest the smell of nicotine cigarettes. I don't mind the smell of weed cigarettes, but yeah, I don't like nicotine cigarettes. So when the vape and stuff came out, I still would have no part in the whole nicotine industry. But again, if you smoke, if you vape, cool. I'm not bagging on you. I'm saying me. I can state my preferences and hope you understand. I'm sure you like some things that I dislike. I like some things, you know what I'm saying. I'm not passing judgment on you. I just don't. It's one of the things that really I don't like strongly. It's like garlic, just something I actively don't like. So yeah, if you vape, cool. It's totally cool, Fruity. Fruit Fly, I'm not bagging on you. I'm just telling me I have some personal issues with it. Oh boy, hang on one second here. I have to see if there's a situation going on with my mom. Hello?
Ryan?
Hey, what's up?
Your mother wants to talk to you.
Okay, I'm actually live on YouTube right now. Is this something important? Can I call her back in a little bit, or? Yeah, I'm okay. And my plan is to maybe come see you. Not maybe. I want to see you this weekend, and I'm looking at Sunday as the best day, or potentially later tomorrow, but I think Sunday is the best day for me. How's that for you guys?
Well, after you're finished, what you're doing, you have to call her back.
I'll call you guys back. Okay. All right, but... All right. All right, just making sure nothing was bad there. You never know. She had surgery on her heart, or a procedure on her heart back in July. And, the recovery was kind of rough, so just making sure everything's cool. She's old, overweight. And a bunch of meds. You never know when you can't take anything for granted, can't take time for granted. So just letting you know, all you guys out there, if you're call your moms more often, call your dads, see your parents more often. I'm gonna go try to visit this weekend. Not to try, I'm going. I just wasn't sure on the exact day. I knew it wasn't gonna be today though, because I'm here with you guys. Thanks guys. Thanks for all the kind words to my mom. Schopenhauer. I read a little bit of Schopenhauer back in college. He's a philosopher. didn't really read all that much. I really couldn't tell you what Schopenhauer's main ideas were anymore. I think I just kind of breezed through that part of the class. I don't know, just I was really interested in Schopenhauer. But yeah, it was some required reading where I went. As far as like we studied the history of philosophy, so I was getting him in that era, post like Descartes, around Kant era kind of thing. Hopefully I'm not way too off social. I know roughly where he is in the history of philosophy, but I don't know really what he did. Wow, you're gonna ride up to Yosemite, a fruit fly. Sounds cool. And you smoke too. I'm amazed. You can cycle that far, and you must have good lung power or something like that. So awesome. Oh, I didn't see this one. Far Out, No Doubt. Hey Ryan, Rachel and Jared here. Today is Rachel's 9-year vegan anniversary. Oh, shout out to Rachel, 9-year vegan anniversary. Wow, you're getting closer to 11 years like I'm at right now. You can never kill the guy, but you don't have to. Awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome. It shows that despite, the dumb, I shouldn't say, the knucklehead that I responded to earlier, you're not dying of oxalates or anything like that. So awesome. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, I'm glad you like my shirt. This is from a friend of mine called Straight Veg. We showed him on our channel like a long time ago, and he lives in Long Beach. We see him from time to time. Super swole bodybuilder. He competed in a bodybuilding competition before. So yeah, he gets his protein obviously. But cool, Rachel, congrats, 9 years vegan. Totally awesome. Yeah, sometime next month around will be my 11-year vegan anniversary. I never wrote it down, so I'm envious of you, Rachel, and others that know exactly when you went vegan. I know roughly when, but I don't know exactly the date. I can Can you hear me now? Yeah, it's probably not a good camera, but I mean a good, but this will probably work, I guess, for now. Can you guys hear me? I don't know what happened. Just somehow, this happened on a live stream once before, so I don't remember how I did a workaround for this. But for some reason, my audio will cut out from my nice microphone here, and I have to switch to like the built-in speaker. I'm sorry, the built-in microphone in my monitor here. So okay, I'm sorry it took me a second to figure that out, but yeah. Oh well, I won't sound as good or anything, but at least it works. And we're already like, what, 2 hours in the live stream. No, it's just a software bug in Streamlabs, because I see my audio through the whole chain. It's working fine. I see all my levels. In some of the software it's fine, but on the final piece of software, Streamlabs OBS, it's gone. The audio's gone. So oh well. And maybe it's the oxalates on Tracy. Too many oxalates will make software bugs more prominent. And I know this 100%. Sounds like I'm down the street. Let me try a different mic, actually. I can try the mic right in front of me. Let me try, if this is any better. Tell me if this mic, this should be better. This is a more technological, it's a newer computer that so tell me if it sounds any better or worse than what it was before I did that last little switch there. So I'll wait for you guys to tell me, and I'll leave it on the one that sounds best. Better. Except there's two. It's better. I know my grammar. Let's see. So what do you guys say? It's better? Okay. No? Much better. Okay. It makes sense because I'm speaking straight on. And basically, the computer in front of me is from like 2020, and the monitor that I was on before for the audio is from like 2013. So it's stand to reason. Sounds the same. At least it's no worse. And I think at least I'm speaking in a forward direction. So I'm going to leave it with this. Some say much better. Oh, anyway. Anyway, cool. Awesome. Yeah, the original was the best. The original is like a nice microphone, one that I use all the time for recording voice, recording my acoustic guitar, particularly acoustic guitar. It's a cool mic. But yeah, good enough, as Ray Sever puts it. Good enough to get the job done, considering I'm almost done now anyway. I've been on for 2 hours and 1 minute. And I don't know if I'm going to go 3 hours today like I did last week. That was pretty hardcore. And I didn't have really like a big lunch right before. Sometimes that'll keep me going, or if Angie brings me some snacks, that'll keep me going. To keep my hydration going, though. I know, Race. Real vegans do 6-hour live streams, and one day I hope to achieve level 900 vegan. Whoa, earthquake, guys. There's an earthquake. There's an earthquake right now. Holy crap. I'm not joking. Whoa. There's an earthquake right now, guys. I'm not joking. Wow, earthquake on live stream. All right, I think we're done. I was holding my studio speaker here. It's huge, and you can follow me. Okay, I think we're all right now. I see Uncle Walt felt it. Hey, he doesn't live too far from us. So, whoa. Whew. Wow, that sucked. So here's the thing. If this earthquake was from far away, like say like San Francisco, then it was a huge one. If we felt it out here. If it was more local, hopefully it wasn't that bad. Hopefully it was like under like a 5 or 4 or something like that on the Richter scale. But we'll find out. Yeah, that was pretty freaky. Not feeling it up there in Central. Yeah, I forgot Tracy's up there. Okay, so it's probably not a big major Cascadian subduction zone 9.0 earthquake that's going to devastate the Pacific Northwest or anything like that. It's probably a local quake here, and maybe a 4 or 5, and it was probably the oxalates. You're right there. Wow. Check our water heater. I don't think it was that bad, but I'll go check it out. It's a on-demand water heater that we have here. The ones that just it's not a water tank. It's whatever. But I should go check the gas and stuff like that. But it wasn't. We've experienced bigger quakes than that here, I think, in our many years. Okay, JL, vegan in Seattle, magnitude 4.6. Like I said, in Carson. Like I said, but I was kind of thinking it might be a 4 or 5 tops. And Carson is really close. It's like midway between me and Uncle Walt. So you didn't feel in Temecula. Okay, 4.6. That's a pretty reasonable shocker. God, I hope I never see something in like the 6s or 7s. Jeez, that would be frightening. But yeah. I wasn't trying to change the subject or anything there. That was a real earthquake. Wow. I'm still kind of rolling. Our house is, shaking. Oh, did I just feel that? Or now it's like, that feeling you get sometimes if you're on a boat or a ship or whatever, and you go in the bathroom, a tiny bathroom, you feel like you're rocking harder, and you get off and you're on like dry land and you still feel the rocking. That's how I kind of feel right now. I feel like my balance is kind of tripped out. Wow, you've been in a 7.2. Holy moly. Sean, yeah, if you're in Riverside, you probably wouldn't feel a 4.6 out here from the Carson, Long Beach area. So yeah, it was really close to Long Beach. Carson is really close to us. Yeah, I said 4.6 in Carson. Usually aftershocks are smaller than the main than the primary shock. So we might feel something. Oh, Tracy, you were in the Northridge quake. Wow, where were you at? You were in Pasadena, which isn't too far from Northridge. I was in I was further than that, and it was pretty big. But yeah, I wasn't. It was in the valley. That's where it really got rocking there. Um, wow. Yeah. Okay, I'm still trying to get my thing together here. Wow. Huh? Yeah, I thought I was freaking out too. I don't think I screamed, but yeah, Angie was screaming a bit. I heard you yelling like "whoa" or whatever. It's like,
Yeah, and then the cat started running out, some stuff dropped.
oh, I'm sure what fell down?
Some little statues on my bookshelf.
Did they break?
No, thank goodness. They did
Oh,
not break.
okay, those little statues. I knock them down all the time.
Yeah, I thought for sure the cat was gonna pop up.
Okay, well, cool. Well,
Oh,
so,
man, I'm still all anxious.
yeah, sounds like we survived it. Wow, Deckel, you felt it too. Where are you at? Wow, Tracy, you were staying in the Northridge quake in the Northridge Meadows apartment that collapsed, but you moved out about a year before. Wow, that is close. Wow, wow. Okay, well I'm starting to calm down a little bit. That was pretty freaky. I'm sure everyone in Long Beach is all freaked out right now, and anyone around the Carson area, the South Bay, that was a good one. I'm curious, guys. Could you see it in the screen? Were things shaking, or was just maybe it looked like someone was like maybe shaking the laptop or the camera or whatever? Just kind of curious. What you saw. I'll watch it back later. I'll remember it was after the 2 hour point. Wow, that was only like 5 minutes ago when I said what time it was. Wow, it's crazy. Oh man, you can see it too. I guess I'll cut it out and upload it to YouTube or something like that. Maybe the news will pick it up or something like that. Too bad my mic broke. I'm on the less good mic right now. Anyway. Anyway, I'm glad I didn't quit streaming when the mic went out. What minute of the live stream did it hit? You want to get the footage up to the news before I do. It happened after 2 hours and 1 minute. So remember, I said I've been live streaming for 2 hours and 1 minute now. So somewhere around then, maybe 2:02 or something like that. The earthquake knocked all the poop off the wall. Yeah, there's a lot of poop gathering on the wall here, huh? Hey Sarah, how's it going? Hey, did you just get here? You just missed the big earthquake that happened during the middle of my live stream about like 5 minutes ago. I'm still kind of coming down right now from it. All right. Yeah, my face will make for some good screenshots. Yeah, VD is probably gonna like get my screenshots during the earthquake. Look at Ryan. It looks like this. Yeah, because my house is all shaking and all the speakers and monitors are shaking and I'm scared. Yeah. Yeah, the camera should shake. This table that it's on it ain't totally like stable. But I don't think oxalates, despite that knucklehead, I don't think oxalates had anything to do with it.
Tree said it felt like someone picked their house up and then dropped it.
Who said that?
Roots like a tree.
Oh, Roots like a tree. Yeah.
Right next to Carson.
Yeah, they're really close. Roots like a tree, who was in the chat earlier tonight, they're pretty much living like a couple miles from the epicenter, and they said it felt like their house got picked up
And then dropped.
and dropped. Wow, yeah, we just felt more of a shake and roll, but yeah, he had the feeling. So Roots like a tree. I'm sure you're not on right now, but yeah, they were here earlier if you guys remember.
They're on the second story too, so.
Oh, they're on the second story, so they probably get more of that feeling that their house was picked up and dropped. Wow.
Their cats are tripping.
Yeah. So yeah. Wow. Yeah, Jill, if you have if your sister's in Southern California, particularly like anywhere near Long Beach or like the South Bay area, she probably felt it. If she lived in LA, probably not. Anything further than that, like say like South Orange County, San Diego wouldn't fill a thing, or San Francisco or Central California wouldn't fill it. That's what he said. It felt like his house was picked up and dropped. Yeah, we didn't get that. We just got the shake and roll, and I'm going, oh God, I don't want this to be the big one. I mean, it's kind of cool that I'm filming and recording it, but I still don't want it to be the big one. It's a virtuoso. If I want another raw guru debate, your 80-10-10 nutritionist said fermented foods are bad for the body and GI tract. I really don't know about that. I've known a few people that had some issues that they claimed were from drinking kombucha for long periods of time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to take issue with that. I'm not a kombucha fan or anything like that. Johnny, yep, that's part of living out here, man. Like, you guys will get the hurricanes, we get the earthquakes. I don't know what's better or worse, knowing that it's coming or just the random surprise of an earthquake here. You know, not knowing for us and you guys knowing when the hurricanes are coming. Wow, it's been that long since San Diego got rocked. You guys are lucky. I guess maybe there's less activity down there. Avi, yeah, I like some of that stuff. Yeah, I do like some Black Sabbath. Yeah, like I was just listening to like Paranoid the other day. The third song from Paranoid. It's got these cool. It's cool. It's got Ozzy's voice all like warped through like a rotating speaker. But I like the jazz guitar solo in that one. That song's awesome. But I like the kind of the drony metal stuff too, like that from the 70s. Yeah. I can't say I'm too knowledgeable of it, but I do appreciate that kind of early 70s fuzz rock sound. Earthquake on a bike, anybody? Whoa. Yeah, and I have Blizzard of Oz. And Angie and I, strangely, were both like fans of Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Oz era with Randy Rhoads. Yeah, we were into that. I could play. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'd have to remember. I used to play Crazy Train on the guitar. Doesn't sound good on acoustic. It sounds better with some like distortion going on. So what's going on with debates about digestive systems? I mean, we can debate that all we want, but the fact of the matter is this. Let's just give the pro-carnivore people what they want. Let's just, for debate's sake, for argumentation's sake, let's just say, hey, the human body was designed to eat meat, well, whatever, you know. Doesn't mean it wasn't designed to eat plants, but let's say the body was designed to eat meat and it's cool with that. Let's just give them that. Okay, so what? Doesn't mean that it's morally right to needlessly kill animals, because obviously you don't have to. You can live and be healthy. You can be thriving. You can be an NFL player. You could be in the NBA. You could be in the Olympics. You can do anything you want at eating a diet 100% of plants. And so what's the point? Who cares if the human body can eat meat? Doesn't mean you have to. Just because you can eat it and not like die right away doesn't mean that you must eat meat. It's not like if you have a diet without meat, you will perish or die. In fact, studies have shown amongst the Seventh-day Adventists and the Adventist health studies that the vegan Seventh-day Adventists have at least, on average, 10 extra years of life compared to the meat-eating Adventists. So obviously you don't eat meat and there's benefits to not eating meat, but who cares about that? It's all about ethics. Why support a diet that necessitates animals being killed every day of your life when you don't have to do that? You can just eat plants and not kill animals. So who cares what the body was designed or not designed to do? It's irrelevant. Right now in 2021, there's no need. It's absolutely unnecessary, needless to kill billions of animals each year and destroy our planet in the process. But yeah, that's my way of looking at it. If you just screw the debate about what the human anatomy is designed for, just look at the necessity. You don't need to eat meat, and it necessitates killing animals. Like, why would you want to kill animals? Do you love killing animals? You think it's totally cool? Oh, I love killing animals. It makes me happy. If so, it's kind of sociopathic. Honey? Who cares if it's healthy? I mean, it's unnecessary. I mean, if you look what veganism is all about, it's not exploiting animals, and insects fit into that category of animals. So the thing is, there's plenty of plant-based sweeteners you can choose from, like maple syrup, agave, stuff like that. So why harm or exploit animals for profit to make honey when you don't need to? Yeah, it's not like honey is an essential nutrient without which you will die. I mean, every food is healthy, right? Except for oxalates, according to our friends. So my point is, yeah, you don't need to have honey, just like you don't need to have meat. If you needed to have honey to be alive, I should be dead right now. If you needed to have meat to be alive, you should be dead right now. So I'm saying, if you truly want to adhere to the vegan philosophy, the moral philosophy of not harming other beings, then by the same logic, being consistent, you shouldn't harm or exploit any animal, be included. That said, I'm not going to make a video calling you out. If you're a vegan that has honey, that's your business, and I'm not, I'm not going to like make a big deal about it or anything like that. I'm just saying that's just how I interpreted it. It's not exploiting. That's what it says. Not harming or exploiting animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. Yeah, we don't need healthy. That's what I'm saying, Joe. We don't need it. It's like without honey, you will perish, or you'll become unhealthy, or you won't get the nutrients you need. Nothing of the sort. There's no fact like that. Yeah, good point there, Jordan. Yeah, the wild bee populations are disappearing as a result. There's a bunch of environmental factors, but the domestic honey market isn't helping. How do you describe a drunk potato? Crispy. Yeah, maple syrup for the win. Agave. I put that in my oatmeal. Yeah, I'm just saying, Richard, if you're vegan and you believe, let's look at the definition of veganism. I didn't make these definitions up. This is the one from the Vegan Society. They've been around making definitions about veganism since the 40s. And it's a way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible impractical, meaning like if there's no other choice, if you're trapped on a desert island and the only source of food was honey or one of the few, then you'd be justified. But if you live in the civilized world where you can have markets available to you, all forms of exploitation and cruelty, but let's get to exploitation. If you are taking the product of bees' livelihood away from them and using it to make money, that's exploitation, right? How can you argue that's not exploitation? You're taking the work of another sentient being and using it to make a product that you put on the market to sell to people. That's exploitation. I mean, I'm not trying to say you're a bad person or anything like that, but I'm just saying if you adhere to the definition of veganism, that's why I don't have honey. Yeah, sure, I liked honey before I was vegan, but once I was vegan and realized exploiting other sentient beings, I don't want to be part of that. There you go. I didn't have honey anymore. It wasn't that hard. Oh, that's nice, Uncle Walt. Mark, how does one escape from harming animals? We're a global society dependent on fossil fuels and their derivatives. Mark, I thought I've seen you here before, right? I mean, I don't think you're trying to troll or anything like that, but I mean, that sounds a little bit like an argument, appeal to futility fallacy. I'm not saying that's what you're trying to do there, but I'm saying, we're just doing what we can. This is an imperfect world, and a great start is not to exploit other sentient beings. Yeah, sure, maybe a bug will get crushed by the tractor when it pulls the soy out, or whatever, or the corn, whatever food you're talking about. But that doesn't mean, okay, because there's some harm, we should just like screw it and just harm as much as we want. But yeah, just forget about the idea of perfection. That's why I like this definition of veganism, because it admits the imperfection of this world, and there will be no perfection in an imperfect world. Do the best we can, and the best we can is to intentionally decide not to participate in these industries that exploit, harm animals. So that means, don't buy meat, dairy, eggs, honey, stuff like that. Then take it from there. But that was a great place to start. Don't buy, leather shoes. But this is a great place to start. Yeah, always push for less harm. Exactly. No one's perfect. Nothing is perfect. Yeah, this is an imperfect world. Try your best. If your aim or goal is perfection, you will ultimately fail because perfection is impossible. That's pretty funny, Frank Chan, a John Venus joke. Vegan Jesus, yeah. Thou shalt not make appeal to futility fallacies. JL, what you do if you find an ant in your house? I try to do nothing, but I mean, I've said before, I harm ants unintentionally, like quite often in the driest parts of the summertime. They get into the plumbing in my bathroom. So when I turn on the sink or the tub, ants come out. They go down the drain. I don't know what happens to them then, but I mean, it happens. You know, I mean, again, it's about perfection. I don't go and buy poison and spray them or put traps around the house or anything like that. But I try to create conditions in my kitchen that they're not attracted to being in there. This year is the first year, knock on wood, successful. No ant invasions ever in our kitchen, but they still go into the plumbing of my bathroom to seek out water, and there's really nothing I can do about that. So again, it's not about perfection. It's about minimizing harm, you know, as much as practical and possible. I got to turn the water on to take a bath, you know, what can I do about that? Wow, Race Lover, you took back some messages. I can't imagine what you said. Yeah, Tracy, good points. Yeah, you can try to block the entry points. Thing is, they're smart. They have all day, right? And they can see little microscopic stuff that we can't, so they'll find a way in. Unless you have a perfect caulk and sealing system, and go for it. But that's one way. Yeah, try to seal up their points of entry. But they're so tiny, they'll find a way. But I guess you could try to seal that up, the new one, and just get it eventually. Then, who knows? Frank, I think, didn't you used to come to my live streams like a year or two ago and leave vegan jokes all the time? I'm just starting to remember that now. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's fascinating to watch ants, particularly outside in their dominion. I don't like watching them in my house, though. Ooh, I'm starting to get hungry, guys. 2 hours and 20 minutes in. I gotta get going pretty soon. Plus, I gotta call my mom up pretty soon before she goes to bed. Um, Sean, I think that message of yours got held up by YouTube. So I'm gonna kind of leave that be there. It's funny, but yeah, a little past our PG rating here, PG 13. Um, Mark, yeah, I'm not into this whole idea. If you're vegan, that means you should never reproduce. I mean, just because I don't have kids doesn't mean I believe anything like that. We chose it for personal and lifestyle and financial reasons. It's all tied together there. But if you told people that going vegan means you can never have children, you know how hard of a sell? It's already hard enough of a sell right now. But if you said, oh, and yeah, you can never eat animal products again, and oh, by the way, you can never have children or reproduce, no one's going to join. So yeah, I think you should keep that separate. Yeah, I believe our planet does have more than enough people. We've stretched, you know, our resources thin with the amount of people that we have to support here. So I agree with the principle that we really don't need any more. But I guess if in theory, if like, you know, you could still reproduce, just not in the quantities that have been happening now. I don't think all reproduction has to stop. But definitely it'd be unfair to ask vegans never to contribute to the next generation. Um, are we talking about sugar, Richard? What's your issue with sugar? I mean, remember we're talking about like fruit having sugar and maple syrup has sugar. Fruit probably is a better, healthier package in my estimation, just because it's the whole food plant with all the everything, all the fiber, all the nutrients that fruit was designed to have, packaged together. I think when you're doing the syrup, is it a little bit more of a refined process? I'm not a huge expert on it. Is it a little more closer to being like sugar? Am I right there, guys? Let me know. I really haven't studied that all that much. Wow, Frank, you just got them, dude. Is this like your hobby? I'm not being a jerk. I'm just wondering, do you kind of like make vegan jokes in your just like randomly in your spare time? Because that sounds fun. Like write them down or type them or whatever. Keep them stored away. That I don't know, Sean. I have all sorts of ideas, but our shirts haven't been selling that much lately. I don't know why that is, but we got them back in stock. Let me just take you to our store real quick, guys. You got to motivate me to make some more shirts because I thought we weren't selling shirts for a while because we just didn't have any more. But now we have more of the unisex tie dye with the black ink on it. We got those back, and we have more of these black Happy Healthy Vegan tees. And if you want to show off your vegan gains, we got the muscle tees in stock right now too. So yeah, get what we got. When we clear them out, we'll think of a new idea. And we have plenty of the Happy Healthy Vegan cookbooks left. I bought a whole bunch when we put it out last year to make sure we wouldn't run out right away. So yeah, we got those in stock. So yeah, get some merch at shop.happyhealthyvegan.org. Let me put the link to that in the chat here. I'm starting to get hungry, guys. I'm starting to get really, really hungry. All right, there you go. God, you guys know more about making maple syrup than I do. All right, any last minute questions? Because I am just a little too hungry tonight. I knew I didn't have a big lunch today, so I was wondering how that would affect me to be able to stream for a long time. So any questions here? No, I didn't check out Mexi's video on veganism and capitalism. I did not. Too much fruit bad? I mean, too much of anything is bad. I mean, water in certain quantities is toxic. It can kill you. I saw that happen. You hear that story about like a radio station water drinking competition? This is like maybe 10, 15 years ago. Like a lady died drinking too much water. But yeah, fruit's fine. Just like, anything. Oxygen, too much oxygen too quickly is bad for you. I don't know, Trace. I'm afraid to drive tonight. I'm afraid to go out there and pick up a pizza and have an aftershock. I think Angie's going to make the Tuscan kale pilaf from the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook. Just keep it chill tonight. That sounds really good. All the rice and beans. Get a little oxalates from the beans and the spinach. I'm sure our Knucklehead friend will make a whole video. Oh my God, I can't believe Ryan, a Happy Healthy Vegan, is eating all them oxalates. All the oxalates. Look at this chart here from the St. Jude Medical Center. I was almost tented twice there, whatever it was. I was almost, look at all that. All them oxalates. He's getting over 45 milligrams of oxalates from that meal. That's way too much. It's through the roof. I don't know how much water I drink, Uncle Walt, but I think it's a good amount. Ethan, you had a question? Ethan, if you asked it so long ago, yeah. Oh, you asked it so long ago. Yeah, I just haven't checked it out. Oh, my garage door. Yes, I did fix it Monday. I remember I did a live stream on Sunday because I wanted to just not leave the house. I was just kind of trapped here. The guy came, fixed it, perfect install. Everything's cool. Got a new garage door opener, which is great. I told you it has battery backup power. So in case like an earthquake were to happen and knock us off the electrical grid, can still get out, with the battery backup. And, it's cool. It's like a slightly smart garage, just barely smart. So yeah. Race lever, 4.5 earthquake is nothing for California. You're right, but if you're sitting right on top of that 4 or 5, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, I felt the earthquake. I was wondering how far was it? If it was a distant earthquake, that was a big mother. If it was a local earthquake, yeah, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, it's all relative. Frank. Yeah, the garage is all better now. So that was my like 4 or 5 days of just stressing out trying to get that fixed and everything, spending money on it and stuff. But oh well. The smooch guy, that's what you're talking about, Ray. So I think Ryan trying to mimic the smooch guy should be the norm on his live stream. Yeah, if you guys want me to talk like the smooch guy, yeah, Ryan, a happy, healthy vegan. Yeah, he's promoting a diet that kills people. It's a vegan experiment. Your oxalate levels are through the roof. I'd like to see him. If you and Knucklehead dude, if you want to imitate my voice, I imitated yours. I understand I'm fair game, so I'd really love to hear you do a West Coast accent. Yeah, Ryan playing that guitar like he's doing an ad hominem that I'm a guitar player. Should I do an ad hominem that he does stock analysis or something like that? I didn't really bag on his job or profession, but I did kind of question his claim if he has 100% accuracy all the time, because that's impossible. If so, he would own the universe. You know, just saying. More voices. I sound like Dr. Fauci. I know I'm conjuring some kind of East Coast voice. I don't know exactly the region, but somewhere in the northern East Coast, something like that. I want to give Tracy big kudos. Tracy was on the entire time. I saw Tracy hop on a little bit before I went on. I go, why keep Tracy waiting? So I started the live stream maybe like 3 minutes earlier than I said I was going to. Instead of at 6, I went on at like 5:57. But I want to give Tracy big kudos. She's busy. School's back in, and you know, I'm sure you got papers and prep and all that. So thanks so much, Tracy, for staying with us tonight. And this is cool. Unlike the last 2 live streams, I really didn't have any knuckleheads to deal with, despite my provocative title of this video here, waiting for a valid argument against veganism, with the skeleton guy and the thumbnail just kind of waiting, so you guys did a great job. Or maybe they don't want to come here anymore because they know that they get made to look foolish. And the moderators are on top of it too if they get out of hand. So yeah, thanks so much, Tracy. And yeah, Race, Uncle Walt, Vegeta was on for a bit too. So I want to give some major kudos. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your work. And I see Race Lever in the comments of our videos, not in the comments of the live stream here, but in the comments of our videos, and I see Race Lever getting into these like knuckleheads trying to debunk veganism or debunk me or say I look horrible or whatever. I see Race Lever getting into it with them. So thanks so much, Race, for being in there and giving it to them, giving them some aggressive but solid information, showing them how they're completely wrong and full of it, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Hey, Joseph Michael, I'm getting going right now. Yes, Jordan Taylor, I can quote Abraham Lincoln from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Just be excellent to each other. That's my credo here. Just all be cool and excellent to each other. And if the trolls come and violate that, be excellent to each other by being hateful, mean, racist, all that stuff, we boot them out of here. All right, guys. Let's see. Anything else before I get going here? So Uncle Walt, we'll see you soon sometime, man. We got to still head out to Uncle Walt's way and do some eating sometime. Angela was talking about that the other night, going to that sushi place and seeing Uncle Walt. So we'll get that scheduled sometime soon, hopefully. I know we've been saying that the whole time, but yeah, hopefully this month. No, this month's almost over. In the next 4 weeks or so, I want to see Uncle Walt. Sound? Is my sound gone? Let's see. No, my sound is cool, huh? Anyway, guys, yeah, in addition to our awesome moderators, I want to give thanks to all you guys for joining me on the live streams, making this a regular part of my week that I look very forward to spending with you guys. And I forgot to get back to the main screen here. I was showing our store that whole time. So I'm gonna give you guys big kudos, thumbs up, everything for just being cool and just being you guys. I love hanging out with you guys on Fridays and on the additional odd days. Oh, I gotta to let you know too, I finally found, I was joking, I want a water bottle company to sponsor or me or whatever. I think I found one, so I'll let you guys know if it all comes through, if they send me a water bottle and all that. So I'll let you know, because I told them I drink water all the time on the live streams. I won't do it for my regular videos, but for the live stream, if you guys want to like get in on the live stream, I think they're cool with it. So let you guys know about that in a sec. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Who knows what the next live stream will be? I might do one before next Friday. But yeah, count on next Friday for the next one, and maybe I'll just pop up at random between now and then. So cool. I'm glad you're glad I exist, Albie. Thanks so much. Thanks for all the love, guys. And I'm gonna call my mom and get me some dinner, some Tuscan kale pilaf from the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook, complete with oxalates. All right, guys. Much love, and I will be seeing you guys soon. Bye.